No BS. No BS is presented by Screamin' Sicilian Premium Craft Frozen Pizza. Find it in your local grocer's freezer and taste what all the screaming is about. Welcome to No BS with Bill Schmidt and Armin Saryan.
As the great poet Marvin Gaye once said, let's get it on. It's No BS. Billy and Sarian with you. That's Armin Sarian. Dave Gasper produces the program and returns to the all-new Iron Jack Studios, built by Reamer Remodel.
Welcome back.
Glad to have you. Excited for you to be back. We are going to hear about your trip and the frustrations that ensued throughout the day, as we'll also talk to the folks on the NicoletLaw.com talking text line, which is 877-794-1973. We have Trey Crosby joining that NicoletLaw.com talking text line coming up in about 20 minutes from right now. Talk some Bucks basketball, a potentially losing parlay of the day coming up into the third hour of the show. Doug Russell will intermittently join with his updates throughout. But hey, we did lose on the parlay of the day here today. All right, which started from yesterday.
It did. It ended this morning.
Woke us up this morning.
Yeah.
And you know what, though? I will say this.
Go ahead. Say it.
It might be my favorite parlay of the day to have lost.
I agree. Because
a couple of different reasons. One, lowest odds. No one wants that. No one only wants a plus 300 parlay.
Like, if you were going to lose one, that's the one to lose.
That was the one to lose.
Right?
Realistically, the reason why I was okay with the parlay of the day losing, because it still brought a Chicago Cubs L
that was it right
and
there.
A last place start to the Chicago Cubs in the 2025 championship season.
Let's
for
go.
your Milwaukee
Let's
Brewers.
go. Cubs are in last place, but where they belong. Okay, in the cellar, down in the bottom, where you belong. Cubs.
Craig Counsell already pulling a starter after 4 shutout innings.
4 shutout
innings. Bullpen already blowing it.
Immediately gives up 3 runs to the LA Dodgers in Tokyo. Oh my God, the Tokyo Dome was buzzing.
And you know what? It couldn't be anything better to wake up to than that. And the game was still going on when I woke up, which
is nice. Is nice. Yes, for us sleepers that suffer from a little bit of insomnia, or when the insomnia that ensues after you wake up, say right around 5 a.m., you potentially just have to check a leak. Right? You see if that thing is still, that leaky faucet is still leaking.
Check a leak.
Yeah, you get up and all of a sudden you sit there and say, well, I ain't falling back asleep.
Nope.
Good. We got real baseball to watch. And we got the Cubs to choke one away against the LA Dodgers on television to witness. And yet last year, I've seen this video countless times of Brewers manager Pat Murphy celebrating in the locker room with his squad after a game against the Philadelphia Phillies, in which the Brewers earlier that day won the NL Central. He said, we went wire to wire. This year actually could be wire to wire, because if the Chicago Cubs are the second place team, they're going to lose tomorrow, almost guaranteed. So they're going to start with a fat 0-2 record. You're going to win 2 out of 3 against the New York Yankees to start out the season in the Bronx. Son of a gun, Armin Saryan. And they actually might lead this thing wire to wire and just take this off the sheet.
That's what I'm expecting. That's what I'm manifesting.
These 2 games, Nick Brusewitz did say yesterday, I know with Mike Keller, these are going to be predictive of who these 2 teams are throughout the entirety of the season. The first 2 games that happened here today, a week and a half earlier than every other Major League Baseball game.
Yeah, I like to think so. Now, now the odds haven't changed for the Cubs to win the National League Central this year.
Serious?
Not that I've seen. I don't think so. They're still, as far as I can see, they're still minus.
Well, the Dodgers have definitely changed, right? I mean,
no, they haven't changed either. Minus 670.
Oh, they're already locked.
But they won the first game.
Well, listen, and what you said is true. Like, if you want value, jump on it now. What you said is true, though, Billy. I think the Brewers are going to win the division. Now, part of that is logic. Part of that is faith and hope and love. You know, it's like that. It's like that covenant. You know, I'm talking about. This is the Easter season.
Yeah.
I'm talking about faith and sight and things unseen. I just walk in believing my team can do it.
Which
again.
one do you think there's more of that founded in? Faith and hope?
Well,
logic?
In terms of sport, in terms of this decision, I think it's 50-50. I'm going to be fair about it. I think it's 50 logic, 50 faith. You know, because the Brewers are the defending champions of the division.
Mm-hmm.
I think they still should be good, even though Pacoda, no one else thinks they will be. And I think the other 50 is faith, and you always have to have that when you're walking into a new baseball season. But, Billy, I also like knowing that the Cubs, if they do win the division, I don't want to say that they can't. It's possible they do. I don't want to put that.
I mean, they are in a huge hole now, losing their first game, though. Massive hole.
But if they do,
the division.
At least they cannot put on those shirts wire to wire. And you brought it up, and that's true.
Wire to wire.
They cannot say it. They cannot say it now. They are officially in last place after their 4-1 loss in Tokyo this morning, or this It was this morning for us. I guess.
This morning
Yeah.
for us, this evening for them.
Right.
Right?
A few
that's how
hours
it goes.
That's how
ago.
it goes. Yes.
Yeah.
A few hours ago it ended in Tokyo. And hey, it was a great one to roll through. 7-7-3 in Chicago, already making excuses.
Go
Hey,
off.
any team facing the Dodgers is gonna be in a tough spot. Let's be real.
I mean, he's
yeah,
right.
sure, maybe.
He's right.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we can back that excuse train up.
You will be the underdog against the Dodgers. I mean, that's fair. But hey, don't
I
you
just
wanna
like
be
that Craig
special?
Counsell is already going to have people second guessing his decisions down in Chicago.
I mean,
pulling a
people-
starter after 4 innings.
That 4
My
innings,
goodness.
shutout ball. He was rolling. Well,
Shota Imanaga
wow.
was just showing out in front of his home fans.
His pitch count was at 69.
Nice. And then Craig Counsell's like, we cannot move this.
Can't do this.
We
We're
gotta
moving
keep it
on.
right there.
We're not doing this.
What a great start to the year.
Now, I know, Dave, you're right. I mean, the logic of like, well, they haven't stretched him out yet. It's still this time of the year.
Don't bring logic and
Yeah.
facts into this argument.
You
That's
know,
why I
Who
was
needs that?
Yeah, and that's why I was wondering when you mention it of the logic or faith and hope,
Yeah.
because I've been trying to figure out where my balancing act with that is with the Milwaukee Brewers,
Which is fine.
going into the 2025 season. Because as much as I'd like to agree that it's closer to 50-50, I do think a little bit more is leaning in the faith and hope. Now, faith and hope makes it feel a little bit more fluky than what that comes into. I think my faith is more in the organization structure as a
sure.
whole
Yeah.
to be able to make the necessary adjustments if things are to go haywire. And what I mean by that is, Armin, like right now, Bryce Terang, shoulder soreness, little injury. Dave was down there over the last couple of days. He was able to get Pat Murphy's comments, and we'll talk to Mike Heller, who's in those meetings every day.
They're all there. Everyone's there. Yeah.
Pretty much everybody from the station.
We've been there
It's awesome.
all spring. It's incredible the coverage we've had, and it continues on. Yes.
It's not stopping. I
Yes.
mean, Mike Heller's there till April. So, I mean, it's not stopping the kind of
Mike's
coverage. that we're
staying. The team not going to be there. Mike's staying.
He said, who cares? I'm still going to be right here at the ballpark.
He's preparing for next spring. Basically.
And in the midst of all of it, there's reason to, I think, expect or fear, whichever word you'd like to use, some regression from some of their top players.
Sure.
Right? They're young players that they have counted so heavily on over the last 2 years. You would anticipate, the logic might tell you that there would be some regression in there. Now, there will also be some positive
And that's the hopeful side.
steps.
That's the faith
I
side.
think that to me is more of the hopeful side.
Yeah.
Like I am hopeful after watching Jackson Churio hit one yesterday, I think 109 miles an hour. That young man is not doing what I was fearing,
Which is
which was taking a little step back.
Yeah.
Which was taking a little sophomore slump. Get the league catches up to you a little bit.
Which
You have to start making some adjustments to the adjustments that they're making to you. Now, probably will happen at some point.
It's bound to happen.
My man's going to go through a 3-week stretch where you're sitting here watching him go 215 on the batting average, maybe no homers for almost a month like he did a year ago.
He's a baseball protege, even if he does have it down.
But that son of a gun looks like he is taking another big leap.
Which is great news.
Last year, it was Pat Murphy who expected a quantum leap, I believe was the verbiage for it, from Bryce Terang.
And he got it, basically.
In the field.
He got it. Well, first half of the season.
Yeah, in the
he
field.
Was, he was hitting the ball. What was his hitting number? I mean, then he dropped
He was
off
hitting
in the
like
break.
280 or something,
Yeah.
290.
And then I think his
couple of
OPS
weeks.
ended below 700.
It
So,
dropped,
like,
it dropped.
second half.
It did.
yeah,
rough
it
second half.
plummeted second half. They were still able to win.
And he still got the value from his fielding.
I do wonder how much of that, and this is where the faith in the organization plays into the conversation. They're making enough adjustments around the infield where it seems like Joey Ortiz might now be back in line for shortstop with Bryce Terang's little shoulder soreness, fatigue. They're moving Caleb Durbin into the mix. There's going to be an Ollie Dunn experience again, which is going to be something to behold. Maybe Vinny Capra's on the squad. Maybe he's not. You're in a position where you're going to see for the first 50, 60 games how this works. Then I do have the faith in the organization to say, if this is not working, if nobody's trending in the positive direction, if we're seeing a lot of that negative regression that some might fear, step in and make a little bit of a move. Maybe it's not a go out and acquire somebody else, but it is take a swing at another individual in the organization,
and take
this
advantage.
bounty of talent that you got, to go and see if it works with somebody else. Because a couple of years ago, the idea was this Luis Arias, who everybody loves. In the organization, seems like everybody loves.
You just believe he's going to be the next
He
one.
is going to be your starting shortstop. Don't even worry about it.
And there's an assumption. I don't know about you, Billy, but I always sort of operated from the I operated from the pie in the sky view that if a guy's young, he's going to eventually get better as he gets older.
Just keep ascending.
Every
no doubt
time,
about it.
every year goes by, no matter if they ended up doing it or not. And then when a J.J. Hardy would take a jump, a lot of it's shaped from your youth, right? When you saw the teams you saw, Ricky Weeks took a jump one year.
Oh,
then
sure.
Braun came up. I'm like, this is just what we're going to do. Every young guy that comes up is going to eventually get better and better all the time. But we know that's not reality, right? Regression, progression, it's not linear.
Keston Hiura, for example.
Keston's a great example, unfortunately, the other way around. Or like Brady Clark had a great year.
Oh,
that was
me
it.
some Brady Clark.
Like you can go down the line of guys but I always would operate from the thought process of, and that's where the hope and the faith comes in versus the logic, knowing it's not reality, where another year of experience, this guy's just going to keep getting better, right? Always improve. And that doesn't always happen.
And there's a thought that at some point, if it's not working, that there will be a move being made. 877-794-1973. A couple of years ago, like I was saying, Luis Arias plays 40-some games at shortstop. It was a brutal defensive experience.
Mm-hmm.
Craig Counsell's like, this bleep ain't going to work if we're going to play in the postseason. 2 days later, Willy Adames was acquired. Now, that also helped because Wander Franco was pushing him out of his spot.
Perfect situation for the Brewers.
Great opportunity to go and pounce. And then you get a stalwart for a number of years. 877-794-1973. Mark the Toolmaker said, full faith in the Brewers and how they manage the club. Jackson will be fine. Remember last season? He struggled bad at the beginning of the year, but they kept the course, make sure that he got all the at-bats that he needed. And sure, that's again potentially going to happen, right? Like there is going to be a potential massive slump for the young man. And that was where Armin Sarian wanted him to start out like 0 for 18 last year.
I did say that.
Set the expectations low and then continue to get better.
And I want to say I was right in that regard, but the expectations were a bit metered after that early start. And then he slowly got better and better and better. And I think we were all able to handle it better because of that. Like, you know what I mean? If it was the reverse.
Are you patting yourself on the back for that?
I'm just saying
it sounds like he is.
If his
seemed like you might have been.
let me ask you this. If his best months were April, May, then June, and then the reverse, how would we have felt? I think it's better that way. I never want my guys to go up to the plate in any official game that they're playing in and not get hits and strike out. But if there was going to be a down month, having it early, the organization stick with him, have full faith. No, it turned out to be better in that sense. He also, and I thought it was interesting, Mark the Toolmaker, full faith in how they manage the club. I think there's a lot of that as well. There was such an excitement about Pat Murphy and the way he managed the first year, which was obviously resounding success. Now, will he have that impact? Will his managing impact always have positive results every year, right? I mean, there's a lot of times. Phil Garner had a great first year as a manager.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the Brewers couldn't win after that. Maybe not because of Phil, but because it just for one reason or another, the Brewers didn't have another winning season after his first year. Now, I think Pat Murphy's a great manager, and he definitely had a great year last year. But I'm not sure if we can expect him to be manager of the year every year, obviously, right? So that's the other point.
Well, that's going out on a limb. I would agree. It's probably not going to be as good every single year.
All the good feelings we have about Pat right now, we like him. He's so funny. He's got a great impact because the results were there.
Mm-hmm.
If the results start to peter, how will people think about?
Yeah, then I'd be making Grandpa Maka comparisons if young players didn't take steps up. And you mentioned it that they had great years. They also had great regular seasons from very, very productive players. You need more of that.
Yeah.
And hopefully you continue to see some more of that because I'm excited to see a William Contreras here. I'm excited to see hopefully a full healthy year from Christian Yelich. That's going to be a good one. Dave, did you get any sense of how Yelly is feeling? Obviously, the 5 home runs for Rhys Hoskins was fantastic, but you were just down there for a number of days.
Yeah.
Christian Yelich has 3 bombs so far on the year. Are we feeling like some of the back injuries are all put aside after this deal, or is it just a little bit of fingers crossed to make sure that you're seeing Yelly throughout the entire 2025?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good feeling in Brewers camp right now with Yelich and how he's looking. I mean, he had a home run over the batter's eye the other day, and even the guys in the clubhouse were just like, "What was the exit velo on that?" I mean, that thing was scalded. I mean, it was roasted like out to dead center. So he's looking good. He's been going oppo too with the home runs this spring, like dead center or oppo.
It's good to see.
So that's kind of a sign that he's going well. So the back is looking good so far for Yelly. So
the power to the opposite
good.
Field generally is a Yelich telltale sign.
It generally is. Yeah.
That's always a good one.
And another one of these guys taking a leap forward, because we asked Murphy about this, but while we were down there, it's like, who's your next quantum leap guy? And I mean, first he mentions Bryce Terang again. He thinks there's still another level there with the bat, but also
hopefully 162 games with the bat would help.
Would love that.
Yeah,
That would
also,
be a step.
but also Garrett Mitchell was one mention, because I mean he's someone too who he's dealt with injuries. He assuming health, like you're hoping for a lot of big things out of him.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. So being able to get him to have a full season to go through, I mean, he's super talented, can put up the massive numbers as Murph was talking about, and it's just getting him healthy. And
that's the main thing for him.
Like he is that guy who can take that step forward. So Murph's like, I mean, if that's your pick, I mean, that makes a ton of sense.
Because he's never not performed when he's played.
Yeah.
That's the thing I keep saying about Garrett Mitchell. And we talk about the outfielders. I'm like, when Garrett Mitchell's played, he's never not performed. I mean, he's always had an OPS over 800. He's always done those things. He's shown the power.
But again, availability is the best ability.
It is.
Yeah.
So that's why, more importantly, yes, we have to see him do that in a full season. It's easy to do it in short spurts, but so staying healthy and performing.
Yeah, I mean, he's played in 3 seasons and has not played 160 games,
which is obviously his big step.
That's going to be a difficult one for me to put into the counting jar, right? To just drop in and say that's where I'm going to put my coins into the bucket. Hopefully it is, because dude is super, super talented. You know who else is super talented? Trey Crosby.
Absolutely.
On your T's and Q's, Cream City Crossover postgame show. He's going to join us coming up on the other side. So are the Oklahoma City Thunder. And yesterday, after Sunday night, watching Bucks and Thunder in person at Fiserv, had a sinking realization. There's a fat gap.
Yeah.
I mean, an FAT gap between where your Bucks are and where that Thunder team is. And I want to see if Trey's feeling the same thing, or if maybe I need to stop being such a Debbie Downer about our favorite basketball team. Maybe I need to have a little bit more faith and optimism. Maybe that was not as bad as I thought it was, watching Brooke Lopez get absolutely run by on Sunday night.
You weren't. I don't know who was
going to help us out.
I don't know who was feeling worse at the game. You or Tracy Morgan. You know what I mean? I really don't. Because
we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that, because I'm wondering how many people not had a Tracy Morgan moment at a game.
Well, no, not that, but
just on the court.
Yeah.
I think there's more people than you are going to give credit for
at games.
Yeah. That maybe feel a little sick.
No, that might be true.
Retaste that dinner. And Tracy Morgan did it right next to the scores table last night. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for laughing. I know people are going to be mad at me.
I'm not saying it's bad to laugh. It was St. Patrick's Day.
It was St. Patty's Day.
Well, I want to make sure my man
I didn't see Tracy Morgan at dugout 54 yesterday.
That's true. You didn't. We didn't see him.
He should have been there.
You
should have been there. Great time.
It was awesome, by the way. Oh, what a great time.
Cannot wait to be back there coming up on opening day.
It was great.
Home opener.
Everybody was there.
Home opener is opening day.
I don't differentiate anymore. Home openers are opening day.
It is opening day.
That's just what it is.
That's the opening run for No BS. Billy Ansari and Trey Crosby joins. On the other side, Dave Gass produces. He's back from Arizona. You're back on the NicolaLaw.com talking text line, and we're back right after this.
This is how we do it. It's Friday night, and I feel...
Hey guys, Billy Schmidt with Underdog Fantasy. Grab your phone and your dancing shoes, because it's time for March college basketball, and it's time to make some pick'em entries with Underdog. Nothing beats March basketball. Bring on the fun of a bracket to every game day by making entries on Underdog. Underdog is one of the leading apps in the country, and you can now play in our state. And if you want to win up to 1,000 times your money, you can with Underdog. To play, choose higher or lower on your favorite player stats, whether it's points, assists, rebounds, and more. They've got all your favorite leagues, teams, and stars to choose from, and you can create entries of all basketball picks or mix and match across your favorite sports. You can play for as little as $1, and if you get everything right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. So turn $1 into $1,000 just with your hoops knowledge. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog, and their app has over 100,000 five-star reviews and millions of players. Tonight on Underdog, well, I was going to look at higher on some Steph Curry plays. However, the stats for Steph Curry, we don't know what they're going to be potentially, because Steve Kerr said Steph Curry needs a little rest.
He's tired, man. He's tired.
He needs a little rest.
Come on, Billy. He needs a nap, man.
He really needs a rest.
Yeah.
After last night getting beat by Russell Westbrook and the Denver Nuggets.
Russell went nuts last night.
Not Jamal Murray.
No.
Not Nikola Jokic. Not Carmelo Anthony, saying 20 years ago. Russell Westbrook in 2025 donkey stomped the Golden State Warriors. So now the Bucks are going to go in there and whoop up on that. Hold on. Talk about Underdog Fantasy for a second. higher on Giannis, Dame. There's a lot of opportunities for tonight's game. Go and play and have a bunch of fun on the Underdog Pick'em game. Download the Underdog app, sign up using promo code Billy, and unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up using promo code Billy. Claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly upon your first deposit. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona and Massachusetts. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Football fans, get ready for an unforgettable NFL draft experience in the Discover Green Bay 2025 Draft Sweepstakes. Find out more about the 2025 draft in Green Bay and enter to win at greenbay.com/sweeps.
Grab your phone and your dancing shoes. It's time to make some entries for March College basketball with Underdog. Hey, it's Billy Schmidt. Nothing beats March basketball. Bring the fun of a bracket to every game by making entries on Underdog's Pick'em game. Do you want to win up to 1,000 times your money? You can with Underdog. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite player stats, whether it's points, assists, rebounds, and more. Create entries of all basketball picks this March or mix and match across your favorite sports. You can play for as little as $1, and if you get everything right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Download the Underdog app and sign up using promo code Billy to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up using promo code Billy. Claim your special offer today of up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly upon your first deposit. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona and Massachusetts, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Save big money on your next outdoor project at Menards. Menards has the best in-stock selection of AC2 pressure-treated wood fencing, lumber, and decking. All easy to load in our convenient drive-through lumber yard. Plus, you can get free estimates fast with our fence and deck design programs in-store or on Menards.com. Don't forget to check out our weekly flyer for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Drew Olson here for Pep's Draft House Pizza, the official pizza of the Drew and KB Show. Whether you have people coming over for the game or simply want to enjoy a hearty, premium quality pizza at home, make your house a draft house. Try one paired with your favorite microbrew today.
Hey, it's Matt LePay, your friendly play-by-play voice. I know a good team when I see one, and I found a great one in Ridgetop Exteriors. Let's talk about your home for a minute. It's most likely your biggest investment and where you spend most of your time. So my question for you, is your home ready to shine this season? Whether it's roofing, siding, or windows, Ridgetop Exteriors is the name you can trust. For over 20 years, Ridgetop Exteriors has been Wisconsin's favorite for roofing, and they bring that same expertise to siding and windows. Imagine vibrant, low-maintenance siding and energy-efficient windows that brighten your home while cutting energy costs. Ridgetop Exteriors holds all expert-level installation credentials with leading manufacturers including Pella, James Hardie Fiber Cement Siding, and LP Smart Side Engineered Wood Siding. With thousands of five-star reviews and a commitment to excellence, they're the clear choice for your home improvement project. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today, online at ridgetopexteriors.com, and consultations are always free. Ridgetop Exteriors, putting customers first every time.
It's time for you and that diamond to come alive again.
At the 4th annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Even if you have a good ultrasonic jewelry cleaner,
It can't match the pressurized steam cleaning we do at Kessler's.
Let us steam clean and polish your engagement ring
for free.
I'm Joe Gerke, president of Kessler's, and we want to strip away all the soap scum that is making your diamond look dull.
For free. And while we're doing it, we'll inspect the prongs on your ring to make sure your diamond isn't about to fall out.
It's the 4th annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Here's another idea. Bring us anything you own that needs to be repaired,
and we'll give you a price to make it like new again.
And if you have some old jewelry you don't wear anymore,
we can make something unique and wonderful out of it.
unique in all the world.
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever. That's 4 lines on unlimited welcome for just $25 a line per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. You'll also get the new iPhone 16 Pro, 4 of them for the entire family when you trade in up to 4 phones from our top brands. That's a new phone for everyone, only on the network you can count on. Verizon. Visit a store today. 20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Listeners are always asking me about QC Kinetics treatments. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. If you're wondering if you are a good candidate, let's see how you answer these questions. First, is your quality of life impacted by the chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulder, or other joints? You have trouble sleeping, walking, day in and day out movement? Next, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing things that you love because joint pain is consistently holding you back? Like walking, golfing, jogging. If you answered yes to any of these, I'd bet you're a great candidate. So don't wait. Call QC Kinetics right now and ask for a free consultation. Learn about these latest advancements in regenerative medicine and how they can get you lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Saturday appointments now available. It's 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
97.3 The Game.
No BS on the game. Welcome back inside the all-new Iron Jock Studios built by Reamer Remodel. Joining us now on the NicoletLaw.com talking text line. You hear him on Saturdays on your T's and Q's on the game here in Milwaukee. Also, check him out on Twitter each and every night, YouTube and X as well, for the Cream City crossover post-game show, talking Bucks basketball. He's our guy, Trey Crosby, joins No BS right now. Trey, appreciate it as always, man. Going to get into a bunch of different stuff here, but I got to start with a couple of nights ago. Went with a couple of buddies to Bucks and Thunder. Excited to see one of the best teams in basketball, right? Go. Not necessarily anticipating an upset victory as a 5.5-point dog. However, a tightly contested game, both teams off back-to-backs. And man, did I come out of that game deflated as a Bucks fan. I went on here yesterday and it felt like I was just crying in the Cheerios for like 10 or 12 minutes, saying it felt like there was a legit gap that was a slap in the face of reality on Sunday night, that there's the best 3 or 4 teams in the league, and there's a gap. And then there's that grouping where the Bucks sit right now in that one right behind. Armin's like, dude, you need to cheer up. You need to get some more optimism. So we had to call you and see if I was wrong. Did you get the same sense on Sunday night, or am I a little bit down in the dumps for no reason after the Bucks get trounced by the Thunder by 20 the other night?
No, I don't think you're down in the dumps for no reason. I do think now there is room for optimism with where the Bucks are, but I don't necessarily disagree with your assessment there. That yeah, you have your top 3 teams or so. You have your Cavs, your OKC, your Boston, and then yeah, I would agree the Bucks are probably in that tier after that, right? With Denver and some other and Denver and New York and some of the other teams that kind of line up in there. Maybe the Lakers or so, Minnesota. Those grouping, you know, 5 or 6 teams in there. I wouldn't necessarily say it was all because of what happened the other night against the Thunder, however. But I think this is kind of played out all year long. When you look at the Bucks, you have some good stretches. You have some stretches where you don't play well. And the other night against OKC at home on a back-to-back, the Bucks did not have their best night, and they didn't shoot the ball well. Offensively, they were behind, particularly all night. I thought they did an okay job on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a guy who had put up, I believe, 48 the night before. So to hold him, I feel like you're doing a good job. You can hold him to 30 or so. But yeah, it was one of those nights you didn't have enough. Isaiah Joe's out there killing you. When teams others are better than the Bucks others, I feel like that's when you get into a lot of trouble. You got to at least hold serve or hold court on those others, and then allow guys like Giannis and Dame to really have their way. But it just didn't happen the other night, and you move on. You got one tonight against. You start the road trip. Got one tonight against Golden State, and you want to have a good 5-game road trip coming up here on the West Coast.
Yeah, I mean, I did not anticipate Isaiah Hartenstein looking like Patrick Ewing. I mean, my man, 24 and 12, and I'm turning around like, what the heck? who is in that 55 jersey? What is under that Zorro mask? He was just killing them. And the interior defense, I know you guys have talked about it a lot on the Cream City crossover postgame. It feels like after Chris Middleton exited, Brooke Lopez has been right in the firing lines of most Bucks fans. And Sunday night felt like one of those nights where you could tell why. Didn't necessarily have the juice, didn't have the athleticism to be able to hang each and every run down the court, especially inside. But do you think that can be halted? That threat can be mitigated a little bit when you know you're not playing back-to-backs in the playoffs?
No. No, because I don't think it's necessarily about the back-to-back. I think it's more just the fact that Brooke is a little slow, a little, got lead in his feet.
Mm-hmm.
I think again, there are times I believe if you have rested Brooke well enough and get him to the end of games, I do think last 3, 4, 5 minutes of a game, Brooke seems to give you that juice if he's, if it's a tight game.
Yep.
I've noticed it that he will give the extra effort if he's in a tight game late. But just throughout the course of it, he just doesn't. And again, it's not his fault. To me, he just doesn't have it. And so I think there are some roster concerns, obviously, but really some rotation concerns that Doc Rivers has to figure out. And again, the hope is that he figures it out in the playoffs. I'm hoping that he will make some changes and do some things differently. Jericho Sims, who's played exceptionally well on the defensive end, is out for the next 4 weeks. There's going to be a lot of question marks. Obviously, you have a guy that couldn't read a pill bottle, so now he can't help you. And then you have Brooke Lopez, and then you have Jericho Sims who's going to be out for the next right into the playoffs now. So the Bucks are going to be in a bind, and I don't think the answer is we're going to play Brooke Lopez 30 minutes every night. I think that's going to get you into some trouble.
Well, I think that's what the Jericho Sims thing really hurts more, because I thought he was a guy that could spell Brooke, add some things defensively, maybe in the dunker spot on offense. He was athletic, could move. He could do things to give Brooke that rest. Obviously, yes, this isn't a perfect roster, but I do feel like Bucks fans sometimes, there's a good stretch of game, and rightfully so. Our goal is to win a championship. That's the hope expectation. So that's how we view that prism. But when we start losing a few games to good teams, it's like an anvil on Bucks heads that they completely get crushed. They completely want to fold up the franchise, go home, give up, and all this. And it's like there is a sense where you have to get on the horse and keep going and try and break through. We haven't done it yet against good teams, but this next stretch, Trey, Golden State, LA, Sacramento, not as much Phoenix, but Denver and New York. These next 6 games should tell us a lot about what this Bucks team could do. If they rip off 3 or 4 here, you have to be feeling better.
Absolutely. I think the Bucks can go 3-2 in this West Coast trip. I think I'd feel good about it. And again, the difference is this is an older roster. They aren't the young spry guys anymore, like they were in 2018, 19, where they're winning, where 50-some games is important to them, like maybe a Boston, a much younger team, or Cleveland Cavaliers, a young team who's ready to go home, win as many games as they can. That's not what this Bucks roster is. And I think, again, the main thing is, and again, knock on wood, you have, a little bit more time to go, but this will be, we're shaping up for this to be the healthiest roster that the Bucks have put into the playoffs in the last 3 years. That's what you can hang your hat on.
Knock on
if
wood.
You're a Milwaukee Bucks fan. Is that you can talk about how good you thought other teams were. Those teams in the past were not healthy. This team will, as it looks right now, will be the healthiest going into the playoffs. That's where my optimism lies. And again, they're gonna have to do a lot of good things. Obviously, Doc Rivers is gonna have to coach to his highest level. Damian Lillard's got to play at a much higher level. Even Giannis is going to have to continue to elevate his game. Kyle Kuzma's going to have to elevate his offensive game. They're going to have a lot of things to go right for them. But it is there in front of them. And again, what the hope is that you're not in a situation like last year where it doesn't matter what you do when Giannis goes down, it's a wrap. It doesn't matter what you do when Damian Lillard has a calf injury, it's over. So that's when you pack your bags up, take your ball, and go home. Not this year where you have a shot with Giannis and Dame. And again, I say it until I'm blue in the face. Get us to the end. I don't care what happens throughout the game. Get me to the end. 2, 3 possession game, more likely 2 possession game either way with 6 minutes to play. I'm taking Giannis and Dame over everybody in the league.
And I feel pretty good about it. And you mentioned Damian Lillard and his offensive production into the postseason. I think it's been quite slept on what he has put up, the numbers that he's put up throughout the year, and kind of had a blind eye turn to it. I mean, he's top 10 in assists. in all of the NBA. And it seems like he's picked it up even more since the All-Star break, just being a massive facilitator. What have you noticed from his game? And you mentioned Doc Rivers right there, two-parter. Who has had a bigger impact on how they've played so far over the last, say 20 odd games? Doc fully feeling ingratiated and having now like a full season under his belt, or Dame being a little bit more full point guard role than just being a full scorer?
Oh, it's Damian Lillard. I think his game, compared to what he was last year, it's night and day to me. He didn't he fit in as well last year. He's talked about himself that he wasn't in shape as much last year. I feel like his defense has also picked up a bit last year. So I would agree. I think just as a totality, Damian Lillard has been much better. And I think, I give him credit for that. He got some of the same open looks that he got last year. He didn't hit him as well or as much last year. And I think he's done a much better job, as you mentioned, just as a facilitator. For me, the only thing I'd ask about Damian Lillard, two things. One, turnovers. Because I think at the end of the day, when you're a scoring guard, you kind of feel like you can. I don't say you feel like you can be a little loose with the basketball, but you don't feel like Chris Paul. I'm the point guard, but that's what he is. He is the point guard of the basketball team. So I really need him. We have some guys that will turn the ball over a little bit. I need for my point guard not to do that. So I would like for him to shore that up a little bit. And then they've really got to figure out what happens. And this is really some of a Doc question. How are you going to attack when teams decide to blitz Damian Lillard? When they double Damian Lillard, when they put more attention on him? He's the head of the snake, and so if you can cut him off, you're going to fare much better. They've got to figure out a way to make sure he stays involved. A couple games, even some of the OKC game, I believe he took 2 shots at the end of half of that game. He took, I believe, 2 shots in the fourth quarter of that Pacers loss. You've got to figure out how to keep him involved in the offense from a scoring perspective as well. But I think he's doing a good job. Doc, on the other hand, offense is still a little bit archaic. I think Doc is doing a decent job, considering all the circumstances around how old his basketball team is. But he's going to have to make some hard decisions in the playoffs. He just will when it comes to cutting minutes and what he's going to do rotation-wise. He still has some work cut out for him left, and we'll see if he can get it done.
And that's one reason I don't get too worried about depth necessarily, because when it comes to playoff time, it does feel like rotation short, and it does feel like it's such a more half-court game. It slows down, and the depth doesn't get used like it does throughout a regular season. We've seen plenty of times in the Bucks' recent history when they were the deepest team in the league, when that was one of their best abilities. But when it came time to the playoff time, it didn't matter as much.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Again, I'm looking right at what are you going to do with Brook Lopez? As far as minutes are concerned, what are you going to do with Bobby Portis, who's going to have to integrate himself back into a roster that now adds a Kyle Kuzma, Kevin Porter Jr., and hopefully Jericho Simpson come playoff time. But how do you do that? How many minutes should Kevin Porter Jr. play, who has proved that he can be a player? Is AJ Green, he's been slumping for the last month.
Fell off, yeah.
I say it. There are reasons. All of those are reasons why Bucks fans are probably feeling like they don't know about this basketball team. But if you unlock that code, and it's up to Doc Rivers to unlock it and decipher it. If you unlock it in the playoffs and you do that correctly, you're going to have a team that I believe can win it all. The question is, are you going to put them in the best position to do so? And again, remember, I'll say one of the biggest moments for Mike Budenholzer, that era, that 2021 team, was the decision, again, in probably what was the toughest series, you'd say, which was that Brooklyn series. Yep. That decision to totally bench Bobby Portis in games 5, 6, and 7, which, again, a lot of coaches may not have done, that proved to me to be the winning move that Mike Budenholzer made. That may be something that Doc Rivers has to take into account, not particularly Bobby, but just, as far as cutting minutes and figuring that out, he's got to unlock that and figure out what the best rotations are, best lineups. Yes, Doc Rivers probably, he's getting paid a lot of money to do it. I can't help him. I don't know the answers, but Doc Rivers is a championship coach with championship pedigree. He's got to figure that out.
That's right. There you go. See, there's reason to believe, Billy. Back on the faith covenant. There it is. Dre said it. Faith is the substance of things hoped for.
That's what I'm talking
the
about.
Evidence of things
I
not
needed
seen.
a little bit of that.
Let's
I definitely needed that. Now, I also needed a little this in my life. You mentioned Mike Budenholzer. Trey, do you take any joy? Are you watching this absolute train wreck that he is presiding over in Phoenix? It is, dude, it is horrendous how bad they are.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't say I take joy in it. Maybe a little bit because I think, you had some Bucs fans who were just
And still said he should have been the coach.
Many.
Yes.
Right, the best
Yep.
ever job. Can't believe you fired him.
Right.
And yeah, it's a dumpster fire over there in Phoenix. But again, it's very predictable with what Matt Ishbia is doing over there. You can't just throw
Hit
together
that bell.
superstars and think it's gonna work.
Mhm.
Bradley Beal is not waiving his no trade clause. He's sitting there. So I think he said he had a quote the other day that was like, "Hey,
Yes.
no trade clause."
They got a no trade clause.
Yeah, KD and Budenholzer are having shouting matches on the sideline, every game. It's one thing for you. I would say I'm happy that it's taking place, but I'm definitely not upset that it has not worked out for Mike Budenholzer.
Oh, it is something else, man. It is chef's kiss, and somehow, yeah, Bradley Beal turned into somehow like one of the worst players in the NBA. Like it is horrendous for nobody to want him. And he's just like, hey man, I'm good. I'm chilling in Scottsdale. You guys call my agent, but he's not picking up the phone. Trey Crosby always picks up the phone when we call, and we cannot be more thankful. We appreciate it, man. Go check him out on Twitter. Go check out the Cream City crossover tonight, late night. Hey, Steph or no, Bucks need to go and get a win. Trey, always appreciate it, man. Thanks for hanging out.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
That's Trey Crosby on your T's and Q's Cream City crossover post-game show. Go check him out on Twitter right now and follow along. And that's where you get the link every single night after the Bucks game goes for the Cream City crossover. We got to get to a quick timeout. Doug Russell has entered the studio. He is going to join us on the other side for a quick update. And a burning question during tournament time that Armin Sarian was asking, how many brackets you actually making? How many brackets you actually making? I heard Drew and KB say last night, Drew said he might make one. He said, I might make one just to follow along. I want to know if you're a 15 bracket guy and you're dropping a different one into every single one of these matchups, or if you're like my wife, she had 3 and she's comparing and contrasting her picks later. Or like me, I'll probably fill that bad boy on Thursday right before it starts. That is the fun of the tournament time, and that's the madness of March. We're discussing it on the other side. It's no BS on the game.
Shot caller, 20-inch blades, only Impala.
Holy cow, what a finish! Are you ready? We are the home of the madness of March. 97.3 The Game.
Miller High Life. Always flavorful, always refreshing, always at the right price. The champagne of beers. Welcome to the High Life. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Hey, it's Armin, and I have to tell you, I could not be happier with our new 97.3 The Game broadcast studio built by Reamer Remodel. It's been a game changer, all thanks to the Reamer Remodel team. RIEMER remodel.com.
KB here from my friends at Urchel Real Estate Group. Are you buying or selling? If you need a trusted real estate agent, broker, lawyer, and overall real estate guru for your home or business, go to urchelrealestate.com. That's urchelrealestate.com or email Greg at urchel.com.
KB here for CertaPro Painters. Spring is here, and there's no easier way to get your home looking good for summer than with a fresh coat of paint from CertaPro Painters. A little bit of paint goes a long way to making your home feel like the day you moved in. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. To schedule your free estimate and learn about their spring sales event going on through May 15th, visit CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.com. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in the struggle last night. Between you and this serious disorder, many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
It's time to take action to stop your sleep struggle. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment. Because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
I can see the breath inside my house. This is how horror movies start.
First, the cold seeps in. Next thing you know, you're spooning your cat for warmth.
I tried it. He bit me.
Jason, come on, man. You need a new furnace. Don't you know that Capital is giving away the furnace when you get a new AC?
Giving as in free?
Yeah, but call Capital before this turns into the horror version of Frozen. Call Capital and get a free furnace with a new AC.
Fashion service, you can't go wrong. Call CapitalCares.com.
Woo! Sorry about that. This is Armin Sarian, and I just had a slice of Screamin' Sicilian. It's the premium frozen pizza that's so screamin' good. Even just thinking about it, I sometimes, woo! Each Screamin' Sicilian starts with a super buttery crust that was individually rolled. Then, it's topped with a secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and the most toppings you've ever seen on a pizza. Seriously, one bite and you'll understand what all the screaming is about.
Jackpot!
Sounds like Brian Butch just found out. Find Screamin' Sicilian premium frozen pizza in the freezer at your favorite store. Screamin' Sicilian, it's so screamin' good.
Progressive understands that bond between you and your boat. But imagine if something happened to it. Without the boat, you're just Tina with too much boat knowledge. Sure, it's helpful on the water, but with no boat, you're someone who talks way too much about knots, and no one cares what a jib is anyway. Boat Tina could get away with it because she has a boat. So make sure your boat is insured. Get Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer, and then go back to being you, Tina, who owns a boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went,
I'm so excited.
yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Badgers football plays here. This is WRNW-FM Milwaukee, 97.3 The Game. This hour of No BS is brought to you by Screamin' Sicilian Premium Craft Frozen Pizza. Find it in your local grocer's freezer and taste what all the screamin' is about. Drop it.
He's very knowledgeable, very intelligent guy, very personable guy.
Here's Doug Russell.
All right, let's start on the hardwood. The basketball Badgers, they've got no time to waste as they get set to make their way to Denver for Thursday's matchup against Montana in the NCAAs. There have been some ups and downs this season for Wisconsin, but their only really bad loss was on senior day against Penn State. Still,
I mean, I have never lost confidence in this group, even when we lost a week ago. Maybe the outside world felt the sky was falling, but this group is really good. And this group is battle tested, and we didn't get shots to go down. That's what happens this time of year. You got to be able to make plays and score.
Yeah, well, that didn't happen necessarily on Sunday against Michigan. I think they were just tired, but the selection committee did them no favors.
No, but I don't think that game would have mattered anyway. And I think people don't like hearing that, but the Michigan State and Michigan wins, while and any other time of the year would be monster wins for your seeding. Well, if they would have beat Michigan,
no, I don't think it would have mattered.
Would not have in one iota affected their seeding, and that's just the reality of it, or their location seeding, I should say, to Milwaukee.
Yeah, I think that it was determined on Friday night.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that they were going elsewhere. Now, Doug, we didn't get to go into this. I get it. I totally understand being in Milwaukee. There's a huge home crowd. It's a great boost. There's something innate. The timing to me is the biggest part of the hose job. I actually like them not in Milwaukee better. Like I like them
Interesting.
getting away from all of the pressure. They already have an immense pressure on them. They haven't been back to the Sweet 16 since 17.
Yeah, they have to get back there.
So they got to get through the first weekend.
Right.
And I just keep seeing in my mind that Iowa State game from a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
They go down 5 in the first 7 minutes. And you can hear that place going.
It's a great point.
But they also didn't have Chucky Hepburn.
Right. And
He
it
sprained his ankle.
and you
with
just
about 2
feel
minutes
like
left to play in the
whatever
first
was
half.
going in, whatever was going throughout the game, nothing was going to get better.
I'm sorry, you can't tell me. It's like when the Brewers play in the playoffs, they get down early or something bad happens.
Oh
and
my
right
God,
away,
you can feel at
right
American
away, it's
Family
like
Field the angst.
the angst, the consternation, the here we go again, the pulling their hair out, the
clench
nervousness.
the clench factor from all the fans. Everyone's so puckered up, everyone's
Right.
so nervous. Like
Right.
I get away, go and win 2 games, and then we'll go celebrate in Newark, and there'll be a bunch of people in New York area.
Especially during tournament time. You remember Colgate. It was a nervous game all game. And then like you get to that first media timeout and you're not winning when you think you should, and everyone starts. It can work both ways. The crowd can really help you, as we saw against Oregon in 14. It can really create a sort of constricting boa constrictor around you. So I agree with you, Billy. Go win your games. I think the altitude thing is overrated also, to be honest with you. I don't think they're going to start huffing and puffing just because they know the altitude is higher. Now, I've never played basketball in altitude. Everyone's been telling me that the last 24 hours.
John Tanchi has.
I think they're ready to win.
Yeah. Great point.
There you go.
I don't think
Great
there's
point.
one guy on
Colorado
the, I,
State.
I don't think there's one guy on that roster that sits there and looks at the barometric pressure or the altitude or whatever it is and gets nervous.
Those are two wildly different.
They're
things.
very
Yeah, not close.
I'm not a
Again, it's
meteorologist.
not something that you look at and get nervous about. It's something that in the middle of the first half,
It'll be a thing.
when all of a sudden you are huffing and puffing, that it can be a little bit of an eye opener in that elevation.
Well-
However, that's why you get there today.
Yeah, they're going in a little early.
Go in a little early. You got to be there tomorrow for a little shoot around. Maybe go a little bit harder in shoot around than you normally would.
Okay.
Get a little practice in you. Go and talk to the press like you have to, and then be on your way.
That's
coming
why
up
you
on
go up
Thursday.
25 or 30 on Montana
What?
and get your boys rested for Saturday. There's
I would like an Isaac Guard.
Yeah, that's what we're talking
Let's
about.
like an Isaac Guard
Chris
signing
Hodges.
coming up.
Get
Yes,
some human victory
that's what I'm
cigars.
talking about.
Get some human victory cigars in there.
By the way, welcome back, Dave. Nice to
Oh,
see
thank you. Good to see you.
Was Arizona nice for you? Was
It
it
was
good?
nice and warm.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
no snow there.
Good to see you. Meanwhile, let's talk about Marquette for a second. Coach Shaka Smart and his team, they're headed to Cleveland. They've got a Friday night date with New Mexico, the 4th straight year that Smart has led the Golden Eagles into the big dance. At the end of the day, how much does that matter?
I think a ton. I think having been through the twists and turns of the NCAA tournament, I think both the wins that we've had and also the losses we've had, 6 games in the last 3 years for our seniors have, taught us a lot of lessons, taught those guys a lot of lessons.
Yeah, it's a big
What do
factor.
we think, Armin?
It's a big factor, but also it's important to remember that making the tournament is not an entitled right for any program, right? I mean, unless the Dukes of the world might feel differently.
Well, that's setting up
and
for
we,
a first round exit.
And we like to. No, that's not what I'm
Happy to
trying
be
to
here.
say.
That seems like you're prime.
That's not what I'm trying to say.
Michigan State in the second round.
Okay, we can look at it that way, or we can look at the fact that you still are in the top 18% of college basketball Division I if you make the tournament.
There you go.
I'm not saying this is the goal and the end of the goal. I'm not saying that at all. But your number one goal every year as a program, in my opinion, at the level of Marquette, Wisconsin, whatever it is to make sure you're a perennial NCAA tournament team. Nobody is perennial. Everyone misses it every now and then. But Shaka's done that. But every tournament's different. Yes, there's experience, but you don't run from your nightmares. You take every tournament as it is. This is a new experience with Marquette playing New Mexico.
Come on.
And I keep hearing about Tom Izzo in the second round.
What?
I understand it's a problem. I'm not worried about that yet. You got to deal with Patino and then Patino again, a different one, and then Izzo. That's just the way it is in March. It's going to be
gotta worry about-
tough in the NCAA tournament.
I think you got to be worried more about Donovan Dent.
Donovan Dent's a problem. But
Also-
guess what? Cam can be a problem when he's playing his best, right? So you have to look at it that way too.
Ben Steele, our friend who joined us last week from the Big East tournament, had this yesterday. Everybody forgets about the AP poll after the tournament brackets come out, but there is only one. There is one today, and Marquette has fallen out of the top 25 and ends consecutive streaks of being ranked at 50 consecutive weeks.
50 weeks. The streak's
incredible.
Unfortunately, the streak's over, but it was a remarkable streak. 50 consecutive weeks. They hadn't done that, I don't think, since Al. I could be wrong about that. But my other part is everyone forgets about it being during the tournament, so then it shouldn't count. So my thing is it shouldn't count. The streak should continue into next year. right? Because
No.
it doesn't count.
That doesn't. That's not how that works.
That's
That's not how that
that's-
works. Yeah.
That's bad dude math on my part.
That's what you should say is now the streak is lifted.
We're motivated. We're free.
motivated.
Yeah.
We finally got some of those chains off of us.
Time to start a new streak, like the Badgers football team
Six
with
straight
the bowl streak ended last year.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes.
Time to start some new traditions around here.
That's what I'm talking about. You break off those chains.
Yeah.
Go in, then win 6 games.
And
That's
AP
a better streak than 50 straight weeks in the AP top 25.
And the AP ranking is a really good. It's a nice honor to have, but it's in the end it's vanity and window dressing. It doesn't really mean anything
because Ken Palm is the real ranking.
No, what
Dave.
Bubba Cunningham thinks have used the real ranking.
Oh, Bubba.
That's what it really is. Because
Talk
if
about
you're trying
Bubba
to
in the
win
next
games,
hour.
yeah.
Yeah, and I'm excited to have that conversation about Bubba in the next hour.
Me
Because
too.
I think people got Bubba a little wrong.
Bubba derangement syndrome.
I think
BDS.
I think people
Bubblegum shrimp.
I think people are giving Bubba a not fair shake, and I'm excited to in the next
Okay.
hour of the program. We'll get into that.
I
one
like
coming up
that,
later.
Billy.
Yes,
Coming up tonight, his team is playing in one of the playing games, and if they win, they're here.
and they're here.
How do you guys feel about the playing game?
Sadly, our friend Kevin Holden said not coming. He said,
That-
hold all your messages. I'm not coming up. We got games in Raleigh.
Oh, okay. I
Oh,
love
they
that.
got games in Raleigh.
I was all excited.
It's like, dude, I've got a couch.
Yeah.
I got a
we
spare
got
room.
plenty of time for you, plenty of room for you. Kevin Holden said, no, I'm staying down here in the nice sunshine in North Carolina.
Kevin's the best.
And maybe Bubba's going to do that. Or maybe he is going to fly up here. Who knows?
Well, he's got money because they made the tournament. He's got
And
money.
he desperately needed that 104,000. Yeah, 100%.
You know what, Billy? You meant we'll get to it. I don't want to get.
We'll
ahead
get
of
to
our-
it.
I don't want to get ahead of our skis here. All right, I don't want.
All right.
I always do that. I always do that. Well, I'm excited to be on the radio with you guys today. You know,
It's a great day to be on the radio.
like that.
Yes,
Say,
thank you.
thanks, Armin.
Dougie, before you exit, how many brackets will you make?
I will make one,
Okay.
and I'm probably going to be like you. I'm not going to fill it out for a couple of days, probably.
Yeah.
Just been busy. I barely looked at it. So
that's what I'm saying. No one
Same.
fills in the first dating round. Nobody's filling those in, right?
Right.
That's not the. I mean, it's the tournament, but it's not what you're filling in,
right, because I mean, it's the winner of the playing game. So it's North Carolina versus San Diego State tonight, for
Yeah.
example, or maybe a better example is St. Francis against Alabama State. I mean, you're not going to pick them to win in the next round, so that's why it just says some of the brackets just have like SF/AS. Nobody
Yes.
knows what that means.
No one knows what that means. So quit asking. Let's just get rid of this.
And no one's picking them.
And no one's picking them. Now,
And no
if
one's
somebody
picking 'em.
does pick St. Francis, congratulations.
Yeah.
Listen,
You did it.
I got
If somebody picks St. Francis, I want to know why.
I got an edge on
Tell me
St.
about St.
Francis.
Francis, because I will admit I know nothing about St. Francis
they're at it.
University basketball.
I got the chilling reminder on my Snapchat notifications, like those memories that pop up. I posted or put a picture up on my story of my bracket in, I believe it was 2018, maybe 2017, whichever it was. I have the validation that I did pick Virginia to win the national championship when they got beat by UMBC. I got that chilling
what,
reminder
Billy?
where I look at it and say, oh, you were that dummy.
You were only a year
You
off.
know what, Billy?
Only a year off. I was
Results-
real close.
The variance of result is a real thing. I'm going to sit here and tell you, I think that was a good pick.
Thank you.
I think they
I
were a
thought it
contender
was
that
too.
year.
I
Now-
thought it was too.
Now, St. Francis, if you want to know something about them, I'd say
We don't wanna
roll
know
with the
anything about
under.
them.
They don't score. However, I
Well,
would
that's
say
not gonna
this:
help 'em.
neither does Alabama State
where
play
is St.
defense.
Francis? Where is that university?
Pennsylvania.
Believe-
Okay,
yeah, NEC, and I got Alabama State winning tonight.
Okay.
That's
All
just
right,
my
there we go.
position on that.
That's the hot take from Armin Sarian.
Love it.
Alabama
Dougie, we
State money
appreciate
line.
it, and we will talk to you in an hour.
All right. Looking forward to it.
That is Doug Russell from the Update Desk hanging out with us here on No BS with Billy and Sarian. So, Armin, how many brackets will you end up firing up here today? If you're picking a winner, actually, in this 16 versus 16 matchup,
Yeah, but that's not part of the
you
bracket.
actually, I would assume, you got 15 different brackets cooking.
As I got my cheap looking Yahoo bracket out here today. Now, here's the problem with
The
brackets.
plainest, randomest PDF bracket I've ever seen. I thought you actually printed off a sportsbook one because it's got the Caesars logo right at the bottom, and that broke sportsbook ain't printing
they're
off
nothing.
brackets. I'll
And-
tell you that
and
much.
Billy goes-
they only let you put 15 legs on one. What are we doing here?
They're nuts. They're terrible. Billy goes, "What is that? What bracket is that?" I'm like, "It's the NCAA tournament." He thought I had the CBI bracket.
No kidding.
Because it was
I-
like so
the
bad.
Hey, we don't even know if the
WNIT.
CBI is happening.
No, the
Were you
C-
following this yesterday?
The CIT. Well, there's a couple different. The CBI might not be happening. Is that the deal, Billy? I didn't see that.
I believe that was the one that they were saying was going back and forth and that they were potentially not going to have it. Or was that the CBS? There's a number of them. Don't slow your roll. You made an adjustment to what you were talking about.
Sorry.
Saw a squirrel.
Yeah.
How many brackets are you going to make?
All right. So it's not the number of brackets. It's the number of different brackets. But I want the same bracket. One bracket filled out for how many I enter. Because I'm not one of these guys like fantasy football teams that have 15 different teams they're following, and they want one guy to do good, but one guy to do bad in the same game for all their different teams. That's no fun for me, and that's too much. So now that I got the text from Trey, I might be doing another one. But I'm telling you, I've been over bracketed out the last 5 years. There was a portion where I was doing so many bracket contests, Billy, and I was winning none of them, and it was starting to frustrate me.
Yes.
So I got the family bracket with Laura's family. My buddies have one, and I might do Trey's. I am part with the shekels. That might be the one I can do. That might be it, because I don't. Then it's too overwhelming.
Sure.
It's Ron from accounting coming in with his bracket challenge, where you don't know who actually is running this thing and where the money goes, and so who ended up winning that bracket. Oh, my buddy's friend won it. Oh, one of my relatives won it.
Yeah. Oh, look at you. I see that.
I used to work with a guy, that did that. So
Ron from accounting. I also think the unique part of the NCAA bracket challenge, which I've appreciated for a long time, it welcomed and got people baptized, whether you knew it or not, into sports gambling, right? As many people that would turn their nose up. I just don't know why you care about these point spreads.
You love this take.
Do you like your NCAA tournament bracket?
Squares at the Super Bowl? Right?
The squares are awesome. Do you play fantasy football? You get little tasters into it, right? This has always been the one where people it's not really bad. It's only a couple of dollars. You throw it in there. And you know what? It's not picking a game. However, now I'm hearing different groups, different challenges. You're talking about this guy's got their bracket challenge. Susie's got her bracket challenge, which 50% is going to go to their kids' youth baseball team. The other 50% is going to go to the winner. You got squares. You got confidence pools. You got survivor pools. KB's talking about one, capturing pools. I had no clue that we were going to create so many different games for the NCAA tournament, but hand raised in air. Your boy's hook, line, and sinker for every single one.
I love it.
And it could not be worse. It could not be a worse habit, because this is admittedly the sport outside of probably the NHL that I follow the absolute least through the entirety of the regular season.
Right. That's true. We talk about this, Billy. And then I
cram for final exams.
Cram for the exam.
And I'm just going to unload on all of these different challenges, which frankly, I don't really know a whole lot about, but I'm excited for them.
Whatever Rothstein says. But the reality is, Billy,
your boy's also cooked up and found a couple more podcasts.
I like
so
that.
I got some more ammunition here of what we can say.
The reality is, though, for something like this, and we're talking about bracket challenges and winning, it really doesn't matter. And that's the one thing probably that frustrates me more than anything, and why I've done less and less over the years. It's ego. It's hubris. I can't stand the fact that I watch college basketball all year. I try to educate myself as much as possible. And guess what? It doesn't matter. All right. These results are so variant and so random that, what did you say yesterday? Nancy from sales?
Yes, somebody.
It's always them winning Laura's mom won our bracket challenge last year. I love her. I love my mother-in-law, but there's no reason she should be winning the bracket challenge over me, except for the fact that it's random and I can't handle that. My ego and my hubris cannot handle the fact that I've been watching Big West games all year, and guess what? It doesn't matter.
It's not paying off. The time you've been watching the Atlantic Sun is not going to help you pick Lipscomb over Iowa State.
Should have just been picking based on color scheme.
Right.
And,
I really
how
should
nice their mascot
Yeah,
is.
I really should have. I mean,
pick the Tritons made the tournament.
They
there you go.
absolutely
Your
did.
boys, UC
And-
San Diego.
And because I know the story, it's probably going to affect the way I pick them. Just because I know Yale's been good in the Ivy all year, and John Pouladakis, or whatever his name is, the Greek guy, is a good score for them, I'm going to probably overrate them in my bracket. Just because in my head I know who they are, know who they're playing. I think it hurts me actually
Good basketball
this time
players
of year.
from Greece.
Listen, I mean,
I like Todd
really
the Bear
good.
fan. That's because the casual fan can be bold and not care when they're making picks, Armin. That's a good take, because it does. You can't just say, come on, dude, I've been watching these guys win all over the place. How on earth is Texas A&M not going to get out of the first round? They got to make it past the first couple of the first two games. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I like Stephen F. Austin. That sounds like a lawyer. I'm going to pick him to go to the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
And then, boom, you already got yourself a big jump in here.
And it's
Drake.
It's basically a lotto. And
They started from the bottom. Now they're here.
And they did. And here, well, unless you're a Kendrick guy. So you might want to pick them.
Interesting. Lamar didn't make the tournament.
Yeah. That's all. That was good. I didn't think about that.
A
Who
Drake
actually is
Lamar matchup.
Yeah, who's actually winning?
What if Lamar and Drake played the tournament one year? That'd be amazing.
Probably will happen at some particular point in time.
Listen, you can
Probably
know
the NIT.
you can know too much about these teams, no doubt, and it can affect you. And you know in your head mentally that there are upsets out there, and it will mess with you because you're trying to predict those things, which basically, to be honest with you, are unpredictable most of the time. The key is also everyone focuses on the first round and figuring out the upsets.
Oh,
it's all about getting those Elite Eight and Final Fours right. That's where you win your bracket. I wouldn't know because I'll tell you something. I've never won one, and I don't think I've even come close to winning one. And I'm frankly getting tired of it.
I won one. It's one of my favorite stories in my sports gambling life. And again, it was one of those things that hooked me at a very, very young age. I heard a very, very sad story. A 15-year-old that just maxed out like his mom and his grandmother's social security numbers on FanDuel accounts.
I saw
Made
that.
like 7 different FanDuel accounts.
I saw that.
FanDuel wasn't around when your boy was in high school.
No.
But when freshman year, I was sitting in study hall, one of the BMOC, big men on campus,
Sure.
my man Alex Jazz walks up to me and goes, "Billy, you're about to win my bracket pool if Duke wins the national championship
Oh
tonight."
my gosh.
Like,
Oh man.
I forgot I even put that in.
Oh my God.
Had no clue.
Yeah.
Duke Butler ended up winning the game, winning the tournament. That was the last time I've done that. You want to know how sad that is, Armin? That is now 15 years ago.
Wow, it's been a long time,
man.
Billy. It's been a long time
You
since
have
you
those
won
sinking realization moments where you're like, maybe every 15 years, right? We were talking about that during training camp. It was every 14 years for the Packers.
Yeah, Packers. Yeah.
Maybe it's every 15 years your boy wins the bracket pool.
But at least you got a trophy in the trophy case. You got to look at it that way too. At least you got
one.
that.
You got one. Tristan and Wausau, multiple brackets. There'll be so many different scoring systems that you need to pick accordingly. Coolest one I do is a pick 8. You pick 8 teams and scoring is seed multiplied by round. See, there's so many different ways.
Sure.
I want to know.
It's like video poker pay tables. You have to know.
You
the way
have
to
a
play
different.
it.
You got a different format. You got a different game here for the NCAA tournament. I want to know them.
Tell us.
Because as bad as it sounds, and as much as I feel like I'm just slapping the vein here before we get to the parlay of the day in an hour from right now, I want to know all of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not that I'm going to play all of them.
but it's fun to
potentially
learn about
will.
them. Yeah.
I love learning about how many different ways people are playing. It was fantasy football for a long time.
Sure. It
Now
was.
it's like if you're only playing fantasy football, people are like, really, not daily? Really, you don't have a confidence pool? No survivor pool? Are you even picking, bro?
Where's your picking? Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah.
How many are you picking? 877-794-1973. It's no BS. Billy and Sarian on the game.
Rap nigga, he a free throw man down. Call like Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, bro. Nella to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these?
Football fans, get ready for an unforgettable NFL draft experience in the Discover Green Bay 2025 Draft Sweepstakes. Find out more about the 2025 draft in Green Bay and enter to win at greenbay.com/sweeps.
March Madness in full swing.
Blackwell inside, and he sends it down with the right hand. Tajay with bad intentions. 3 left side, bucket.
The Badgers head west for a first-round matchup Thursday in Denver against Montana. Pre-game with Matt and Butchie at 11:30. Tip-off at 12:30 on your home for the Badgers in the NCAA tournament. 97.3 The Game.
All right, team, listen up. Merle the Squirrel's here to tell you why Capital's duck cleaning is a game changer.
What did he say?
He said, if you haven't cleaned your ducts in 5 years, you're breathing in all kinds of junk. And unlike those companies who use glorified shop vacs, we use high-powered trucks to clean your ducts the right way.
Yeah, makes sense. Cleaner ducts, cleaner air, healthier home.
Exactly.
Schedule your duct cleaning today and save $200. That's right, save $200.
Call CapitalCares.com.
Miller High Life. Always flavorful, always refreshing, always at the right price. The champagne of beers. Welcome to the High Life. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Many times, patients have symptoms they didn't know were actually related to their airway breathing issues.
I was suffering from sinus issues, jaw issues, and neck pain. I guess I just kind of had my breaking point.
Unfortunately, this is typical. But until you get to the root of your problem, it's going to just persist. Fortunately, Jody took action, and the results were typical as well.
My quality of life is so different. But one of the first things that I noticed was my breathing. I don't ever remember being able to breathe like that.
Being able to breathe freely is life-changing, and the effects can go beyond that.
Sleeping better, having more energy. And it seemed as if all of those symptoms that I had just melted away.
And thank heavens for that, because at Advent, results are what drive us, helping you breathe well so you could live better.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
My24 Sports has your courtside seats for the WIAA State Boys Basketball Tournament. 20 elite programs, 3 days, 5 division champions. Join me, Mike McGivern, to preview the semifinals during the Kern Electric Boys Tournament tip-off presented by Cannon and Dumpy Thursday at 12:30. Game action follows live from Madison at 1:30. Watch the WIAA Championship Series on My24 or stream at my24milwaukee.com. My place for champions, My24.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Armin, and I have to tell you, I could not be happier with our new 97.3 The Game broadcast studio built by Rima Remodel. It's been a game changer, all thanks to the Rima Remodel team. RIEMER remodel.com.
What's up? It's Russell Nicolay with Nicolay Law. You're listening to 97.3 The Game, the #1 sports talk station in Milwaukee. For award-winning injury lawyers, when you're injured, you call Nicolay Law or visit us at nicolaylaw.com. Get the beard, get the win.
Noble Gold Investments Market Update. Gold is up 46% in a year, but this isn't just another rally. Global reserves are shifting as investors rush to secure physical gold, creating a massive supply gap. Gold is vanishing from the market, but you still have a chance. Visit NobleGoldInvestments.com today. Make a qualified investment and Noble Gold will add a free 10th-ounce gold coin to your order. NobleGoldInvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part, they accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide, based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
The Brewers are in Arizona, and so is the game. The Mike Heller Show will be live from Phoenix daily.
Will you please control yourself?
Plus, Jeff Levering every Wednesday at 8 a.m.
What? No way!
The Mike Heller Show live from Brewers Spring Training is presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest, and in part by Wisconsin Concrete Coatings. Opening day will be here soon. Milwaukee's home for the most Brewer stuff is 97.3 The Game. Live from the all-new Iron Jock Studios, built by Rima Remodel. This is No BS with Billy and Sarya.
I've waited for this. I'm so excited.
On The Game.
In the beginning, I never thought it would be you when we were chilling, smiling in the photo booth.
No BS on The Game. This hour of the program brought to you by Happy Place Hemp and HappyPlaceHemp.com. Everybody relax. Happy Place Hemp is there for all of your hemp-related needs. And Delta 8 gummies, woo, doggy. You're trying to hang out this weekend, watch some basketball, always sit on the couch. Delta 8 gummy, parked on the couch. Drift seltzer, drift yourself. You might be at half court, hanging out, sitting courtside, enjoying that game like nobody's business. Happy Place Hemp and HappyPlaceHemp.com. Use promo code Billy to get 25% off your entire order every time. Now, this story, Drew and KB specialize in this kind of thing. They call it 420, where it's the What Are You High segment. And it's brought to you by Happy Place Hemp. We love Rob and Chris over there at Happy Place Hemp and HappyPlaceHemp.com. I had to check multiple sources to make sure that this story wasn't stoned.
I'm glad you did, because I don't know what you're going to read, but I'm glad you did check multiple sources, because sometimes we can get sent-held.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say that Kevin Durant got traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Right.
We're not getting NBA Intel here. We're getting Barry Jackson. Now, Barry Jackson writes for Florida Sports Buzz. 35-year-old Miami Herald veteran who covers South Florida major sports.
Okay.
This tweet came up, and I then had to look it up and got a second verification, a story at the Score, and also the New York Times. Your boy doesn't subscribe to the New York Times, can't get that paywall.
No, but it's a legit operation. Yeah.
Barry Jackson is reporting from yesterday per The Athletic. Major League Baseball informed the Miami Marlins that they will not be permitted to go ahead with their plan to have random non-professional people audition for a practice squad to play against their single-A team in Jupiter when necessary for $150 a day. It would be from noon to 5 was the idea.
What?
You'd be making $30 an hour. That's much more than working at Wawa down in Florida last I checked.
Okay.
The Miami Marlins, their practice squad concept was advertised on social media and was scrapped by the organization after Major League Baseball voiced their concerns with the idea, according to Andy McClaw and Sam Bloom of The Athletic. Major League Baseball officials contacted the Marlins after an advertisement appeared on their LinkedIn page.
Oh my gosh.
Gotta be on LinkedIn
This is
more.
hilarious. Is this real?
Yeah, they really posted this. They were really putting this out.
Appeared on the LinkedIn page of a minor league staffer in Miami's organization. The ad offered non-professional players an opportunity to play on a practice squad against the Marlins single-A club in Jupiter, Florida for a $150 daily wage.
I mean, that's actually hilarious. Like, this spectacle of the Marlins is kind of hilarious. I don't know. In a way, I kind of be like, well, they have to do some interesting things there to be like.
The league was reportedly concerned over the idea that it would violate roster rules and potentially cause labor issues.
What is going
After
on?
the most recent minor league collective bargaining agreement called for low A players to earn a minimum salary of $26,000 while rookie ball players were earning less than $20,000. Marlins official told The Athletic, someone ran too quickly.
I mean,
what?
They have opponents to play games.
Yeah, so
against.
what
are we
doing,
too
Miami?
quickly with the ad before it was finalized. It has since been deleted.
So wait, this practice squad would just play them.
They would just play their single A club. It would happen on days where they would need an opponent for a practice. You wouldn't be playing in an actual minor league game,
right?
But getting $150 a day for a team that has an MLB low of $47 million payroll. They're like, hey,
what a joke.
Can we get any jobbers out here?
Yeah, we'll spend money on those guys.
They're looking. They're basically looking for a movie team, like a movie crew. Like, you know, when
they're asking for extras.
Like when you're watching a baseball movie and they have dudes in uniform that aren't really baseball. That's hilarious.
But just think, like, now, Dave, as a former high level pitcher yourself,
high level.
Brewers fantasy camp would have you thinking, that's a dream. Right. Like I remember when I was a kid asking my parents if I could go to Brewers fantasy camp for my Christmas gift. They said, yeah, in 40 years. I was like, wait, what does that mean? They're like, Billy, you got to be like 40 years old or 50 years old to go to that. I'm like, wait, you can't be 14?
You got to be 30.
Old guy,
That's not how this works, right? So you got to be 30. So now I'm in the covenant. Now I'm old enough. Now we could actually go.
There we go.
You're paying for that trip. This is fantasy camp where you're getting paid.
Yeah, you're
This
getting
is a dream
paid.
come true.
And if you strike out, maybe one of their top prospects, maybe they sign you.
You have to believe that there are people
That'd be
out there that thought of it this way. Like, listen, this is my shot
chance in
to get seen.
Yeah.
Like The Rookie, great movie. The Rookie, I love that movie. Someone will see me at some tryout, and this is my chance to make a splash. There have been weirder sports stories than that.
Yeah, if I'm
But
going
like,
up there chucking 72 miles an hour, I don't know how good
What
my
are you thinking? This
chances
is going to be
actually
Henry
are.
Rowan Gardner? You're going to come
Yeah.
in here and this guy's going to
Chance.
buzz 98. They're going to sign him to the big league club.
there have been weird stories in sports about guys, but I mean, if you're the Marlins, like, are you trying to be cheaper or sink lower in the eyes of the baseball world and doing stuff?
They're
Like,
trying to be
man.
on the cutting edge. You know, it's like,
Yeah,
this
what?
is the new way it's going.
They
you
always
know?
say the
Trying to
gold is
start
in the comments.
What was the go ahead, Billy?
The
Sorry.
top comment is, Barry, at any point is your coverage of the Marlins going to decline? Did you ever think you'd be tweeting something as hilarious as this
Right.
bleep? Trying to best continue to laugh as this never-ending spectacle continues. Go fish? Question mark.
That is like, what was was there a defense for this experiment? Like, what was it, Dave? basically,
they were talking about like it was only going to be like a little bit, like when they needed, like it wasn't going to be like every day, but still,
you don't have that many off days, right? Like
you
only
have one off day a week.
Yeah, you have one off day a week on Monday
for travel when you're going between home and road, whatever else.
The thing I
like
think
you're playing Tuesday to Sunday every week.
It's weird. It's a weird idea, but I guess I don't know if it's that. I don't know. The only thing I can think of is like. A comparison is a lot of women's basketball teams, high school or college.
Sure.
We'll just get a group of dudes to play against the women so they can have legit competition where they can't find it on campus during practice. There'll be practice players. A lot of guys will play.
Probably like student managers and stuff.
They'll play against the women's team to give them, height competition and things like that. But there's a legitimate reason of like, well, we want them to get practice against a solid opponent and things like that, or an opponent that's like back when I was a basketball manager in high school, I would put the huge broom pads up to try and block our center during the warm-ups. You're trying to give them. I can't think of it. Is this similar? It's not, because these aren't major league caliber or professional caliber ball players, right?
Would you consider this like a Vince Papale deal, like the Invincible movie, as somebody brought up?
Vince Papale is the example. But I mean, here I am trying to think of positive.
But that was like open tryouts.
I know it's not.
This is hired guns. This is we're hiring a
former
emergency goalie to come in here and just hey, when we need you, let us know, because we could throw you in.
I mean, is there any way that you could justify what they were
doing? There's no chance.
It was a joke across base. Everyone's like, "What are they doing?"
It's maybe a promotion.
So stupid.
Like I could see minor leagues have promotions all the time. I mean, minor league sports have goofy.
If this
promotions.
is the deal, can we play against the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers in one of their practices?
Like
we'll do it for free.
Right.
We'll do it for free if they'll let us film it up there in Appleton.
Would you
all about the digital assets?
100%. 100%.
Would you cash a check also to go up, step in the batter's box against these guys and stuff? That'd be hilarious. If they were like, if I could do this and
facing
sign
93,
or just
from a guy who doesn't know where it's going in low A,
totally boot ground balls.
And you're probably making more money today than he is. So he's buzzing the tower one time with one of those.
Absolutely.
That is awesome. That is so good.
Scale.
That would be fantastic. Listen, Timber Rattlers, what's up? I mean, again, we don't need to get paid. That A-ball, we could help out. If you guys need somebody to go in there and hack and whiff at curveballs, let me know.
I thought
if you want someone to go in there and toss 68-mile-an-hour heaters, I got you.
Yeah, we're your guys.
I can toss some BP from the left side.
Shag balls, I'm not very good at. I don't want to get a Rowdy Tellez injury, but I could definitely go out there and help out.
I just feel like
you got to throw me in there one time.
When they were during the Luka trade, who was it that was live during the Luka trade in the podcast? I'm blanking. That thought this was definitely a joke.
Matt Moore of the Action Network.
Yes,
just about everybody thought. It was a
I'm
joke,
still like, there's no way they're not just trying to get some buzz or.
Yeah, I'm getting sentelled right now.
Poor Marlins fans. If there are any.
That does have to be a tough realization. Like, wait a second. This is what our team is doing. We're trying to find a practice squad and we're going to pay them $150 a day. We're hiring people like they hired to shovel snow at Lambeau Field to play against our actual baseball players.
Yeah, that's like, wow. Can you imagine that? Would you take $150 a day to get blocked?
Brewers
by
owners.
Zach Tom?
Brewers fans. Are you still mad about your owner?
Yeah, I was going to say, don't complain. It could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse.
It could be so much worse.
That's what Dad would always tell you when he didn't get the toy you wanted. Like, could be a lot worse.
Dude, I'm looking at this actual picture now. Obviously, the post has since been deleted, but I mean, it's a fantastic graphic. The Miami Marlins player development system is seeking practice squad participants in Jupiter, Florida from April 1st to September 15th. The role offers $150 per day. Acquires availability from 12 to 5 p.m. Wow, easy afternoons. That's nice.
They would hate
approximately 10 to 15 home games, game days per month when the Jupiter Hammerheads are in town. I want to play for the Hammerheads.
The hats must be electric. I don't know what the Hammerheads logo is.
This is a unique opportunity. You don't say. To gain exposure to professional baseball players and coaches, enhance your understanding of high-level training tactics, and receive performance data on your practice sessions where applicable.
It's for your own development. That's what this is. It's for your own. You have a chance to get paid to get better at your baseball career so you can get together with your American Legion buddies and your over 40s and try and win.
First comment, need a 50-year-old with a bad back that hit a bomb once in high school?
I know some guys I know some guys that are local. I used to play Media League softball. I know some guys who had definitely been all about this. I know some guys working in our local media. I'm not going to name names who definitely would have been all about this.
I'd be all about this. What
I was
going
going to say,
I'd be all
first
over
of
it.
all-
Are you kidding
yeah.
me?
First of all,
Chad
Dave
Merrill,
would
I just ruptured my Achilles thinking about playing against pro players.
First of all, I'd be the other
The
thing.
amount of injuries they would have
How good
if
do I
they
have to
would
be?
go plus 30. I mean, I don't think they're holding tryouts here.
That's the thing. I probably cannot get a ground ball at short and make the throw ever. So is that okay? Like, am I still cashing a check?
I might pay just to watch. Pay
Oh,
the
yeah.
$150 to watch you take a couple of.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me to get Olayed for $150? I'll
Yeah.
definitely get bruised up for 100, like Roger Dorn for $150.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's taking the uniform off.
And also, like, what does it go? Are we playing full games?
I'm saying,
Or do you just need me
Or
to
is it
shag
just
in the
prac-
outfield?
yeah,
Right?
'cause-
I'm cool with that. I can totally do that.
Can I get paid to just be on the bench and just eat sunflower seeds and talk?
You
and
need
make
somebody to
jokes?
help out bullpen catcher for the day?
Oh yeah,
Am I
this is
throwing
great.
BP? Like what are we doing here?
But you would
Although
be
if they're paying you 150, they're getting their money's worth.
They
You're going to
can
be
hang in there.
You're gonna be
during-
doing everything.
You're going to be in a baseball uniform during practice.
Oh my goodness.
We're going to need you cleaning out section 124 after the game.
Yeah,
And,
do the
pot-
laundry.
Potentially keep some stats upstairs.
Yeah, do that too. If you don't mind filling up the popcorn, for the
fill up the Gatorade cooler.
You're bar backing all the different concession stands. Todd, the Bear fan, Savannah Bananas must have been booked. Listen, Savannah Bananas are way bigger than this.
They're more
They
legit.
just sold
way
out a
more
football
skilled.
field.
No, Savannah Bananas are more legit than this.
They literally just sold out Raymond James Stadium.
That's another interesting thing in the world of sports entertainment. People complain
Are
about.
they way bigger than the Globetrotters?
Well, they are
wherever
now.
were?
They are now. I don't know ever.
Basically,
Once,
yeah.
but they're the Globetrotters of baseball now, and
Yeah.
they're making more because a lot of kids are really into it. Boy, I don't want to get down that road, but this is just crazy. I mean, it's actually kind of a funny idea.
Oh, it's just hilarious. Now we got Ron and Stalis just sending us in pictures of jobbers in WWF where they literally, you can tell, just get somebody from the local promotion, bring them up, pay them $100, get choke slammed, and go home. I mean, that is just fantastic stuff. 877-794-1973.
Really quick, this is the ultimate test of the Doug Russell theory that I'd rather have a World Series and be terrible the rest of the time. Like, would you rather have the Marlins 2 World Series but be complete joke for the rest of their existence? This is the real test of that theory. It really is. To say, like, I'm okay with it as long as we have those World. Are Marlins fans okay with this? They have those 2 World Series. You never won a division ever, but
Yeah.
you have 2 World Series.
You got 2 rings.
The
Yeah, you got 2
further they
rings.
get away from the rings, the harder it is to kind
Exactly.
of look at it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
in the first few years after, it's like, okay, fine, whatever. But now when you're 22 years removed from
Great
it, it's
point.
like, okay, most of these people were not alive when they won.
There's
a
a
World Series.
select few people when they say, as long as we win a title, I'll never want any that they're liars. Most are liars. You want to win right away the next year, right again the next year. Only a select few are actually honest about that.
Is baseball the
Right
only
up.
game that this would happen in? Could you imagine them doing this like practice squad? You said like get blocked by Zach Tom.
You can't do it in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's a safety issue.
Yeah.
You want to take a couple of reps at linebacker?
How much would
Yeah.
you get paid to get drive blocked from Trent Williams? Like, you know what I mean?
How much would you have to get paid to get tackled by Ray Lewis?
Hey, Kenny Clark needs somebody to help him with one-on-ones. You want
I
to?
used
Yeah.
to have this debate with John. I'm like, that, there's not enough money that to get hurt. Like, I don't want to get hurt. I don't think it's worth the money. But he couldn't believe that. But it's like,
Unless you're covering my insurance bill. You're paying for all my medical stuff. If I get
That was
hurt
not
for it.
included.
But
On
I don't want to
graphic.
go through.
Okay.
I don't want to
Not
go through
included on
that
the
just to get. I don't want to go through medical problems just to get bills paid. You get my point? Like, I mean, like, what if Myles Garrett was coming at you? I don't want your $150. I'll make it a different way. I'll make my money a different
How are you
way.
going to make it? 877-794-1973. It's no BS on the game.
Window Nation customers have been singing our praises for years. With fast, local service and an industry-leading 96% customer satisfaction rating, it's no wonder.
I researched window companies for the last year to see what the average prices were and the quality of work. Window Nation nailed both.
Get 2 windows free with every 2 you buy. Pay no interest for 2 full years. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Schedule a free estimate now. Call 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com. That's 866-90NATION.
Celebrate 60 years with Rust Arrow and purchase your next vehicle with them during their 0 to 60 sales event. Whether you need a commuter vehicle, a pickup truck for towing, or a minivan for your family, Russ Darrow is your one-stop shop for any of your vehicle needs. Don't wait. This month only, receive a $60 Quick Trip gas gift card with every purchase. Drive away for only $60 down and get 0% APR financing for 60 months or 0 payments for 60 days. Plus fees. Offer to qualified buyers. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
KB, I think our smart, good-looking listeners know that we enjoy our bourbon.
If they don't, I can't help them.
Our friends at Central Standard made some of the finest spirits I've ever tasted, like their Red Cabin Bourbon, aged perfectly and finished in California Cabernet wine casks with notes of oak and caramel.
I'm all about the smoothness, and I love the amber finish that follows every sip.
Red Cabin is a 2-time gold medal winner from the Los Angeles International Spirits Competition.
Perfect for nights by the fire pit, next to your fireplace, and all your holiday gatherings.
Central Standard's Red Cabin Bourbon, you will not be disappointed.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for betting on all the madness. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time wagerer, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on college basketball to a $200,000 bracket contest, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports wagering platform. From every Cinderella story to every hat trick, BetOnline has you covered for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Listeners are always asking me about QC Kinetics treatments. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. If you're wondering if you are a good candidate, let's see how you answer these questions. First, is your quality of life impacted by the chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulder, or other joints? You have trouble sleeping, walking, day in and day out movement? Next, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing things that you love because joint pain is consistently holding you back? Like walking, golfing, jogging. If you answered yes to any of these, I'd bet you're a great candidate. So don't wait. Call QC Kinetics right now and ask for a free consultation. Learn about these latest advancements in regenerative medicine and how they can get you lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Saturday appointments now available. It's 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
At Rocket, we believe everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. So if you're feeling locked out of home ownership, we're here to give you back the keys. We're opening doors, breaking down walls, and doing everything we can to turn renters into owners. And we're not going to stop until we help everyone home. To find out more, visit rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
The Fox 6 weather experts are presented by AdventKnows.com.
We start our Tuesday with some sunshine, but end cloudy with a high near 56. Should see a breeze develop off the lake to cool things down in the later afternoon. Overnight tonight, we'll stay in the low 40s, then some rain changing to snow Wednesday. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Let Express Employment Professionals help you hire for contract or full-time jobs. Forget about recruiting, sifting through resumes, and interviews with unqualified applicants. Go to ExpressPros.com to find the location near you. That's ExpressPros.com.
Coming up Tuesday on the Mike Keller Show from Arizona, we'll visit with Nick Ocean talking about the Badgers, their seed, the travel, all of it. Major League Baseball opened its season. The Brewers are 1 week from breaking camp, and the Packers always making news. The Mike Keller Show Tuesday at noon.
Welcome back to the game. It's No BS. Billy and Sarian hanging out with you. College basketball's biggest tournament just a couple of days away. Excited to be investing and playing on that. We'll be hitting a parlay of the day coming up in 15 minutes from right now, or about 30 minutes from right now at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. But Armin, Jeff Goodman,
yes,
who I know you are a massive fan of, co-founder of the Field of 68.
I run hot and cold on him. Yes,
one of the top new age places covering college basketball. Is that a fair way of saying it?
I agree.
One of the new media spots kind of covering college basketball.
Really good podcast. They talk a lot of stuff.
They got a bunch of guys that just love hoops. Like your boy John Fanta's on here a number of different times.
That's the thing, guys that are plugged in, usually about coaching changes. Rumors.
My man John Henson is jumping on there a lot of different times.
Love it. Yeah.
Jeff Goodman put this up just a couple of minutes ago. Sources telling the Field of 68, West Virginia's Darian DeVries DeVries.
Okay.
I pronounced that
I'm
correctly?
not exactly sure if that's the right pronunciation.
One of the ways, has emerged as one of, if not the top candidate for the Indiana Hoosiers job.
Yeah, right. Okay, there you go. West Virginia. So everybody that's tweeting me, well, not everybody, it's not happening a lot, but everyone that's coming at me, tweeting me, saying, listen, what about Shaka? Is it going to be Shaka? Listen, everyone relax. Here's what's happened with Indiana in the last 20 years. Their fan base gets over its skis, thinking they're going to get somebody they should get or they think they can get, and they end up not getting that person. It's either an assistant or a lower level guy that nobody wanted or Mike Woodson. Like, that's just the way it's been. I saw someone was worried, and they go to me, and I understand Marquette Warriors.
As always, yes.
That Shaka's on some list. And I go to the list. It's an Indiana Student Daily newspaper that listed potential candidates Indiana should go for. And it's every great coach in college basketball is listed.
They got like 50 some coaches in there.
I'm not sure, since the days of Tom Crean saying it's Indiana, are you who you think you are anymore? All right, Indiana. Now, you can make the debate if they're blue blood or not. Of course, they have history. Of course, they have support. Of course, they're in a talent-rich state.
What they have is money.
They have money. I don't know if it's the draw for some coaches that it would be. I think that would be a nice hire for them in West Virginia, but who knows if it'll work out. They also thought that Archie would work out. Who knows? The best coach they had, they ran out of town because he was sending text messages. They didn't like that. So, Kelvin.
Well, yeah, and I mean, Calvin Sampson, if you could ask Indiana basketball fans if they could go back and try to figure out a way to correct and right that wrong. I mean, you look at the coaches that are in the tournament right now, a bunch of the number one seeds. Now, obviously, John Shire, Dookie, new guy. He doesn't have time to have prior issues with the NCAA.
Nope.
But some of the top ones do. Like, I was listening to Greg Sankey yesterday, the commissioner of the SEC, this Southeastern Conference, and he said like 6 of our coaches have been to the Final Four. Okay, let me look at that quick. Who are some of your coaches? How many issues have they had? Bruce Pearl, number 1 seed.
Huge issues. We know about that. Taping phone calls, going all the way back.
Yeah, go all the way back.
How about the hottest coach in America these days that everyone's talked about, making documentaries about, Rick Pitino?
Rick Pitino.
Everyone's talking about Rick Pitino. No one worries about that anymore.
I mean, even in just the SEC, think of Chris Beard.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, you start stacking up. Will Wade's going to find his way right back in there.
Will Wade's having a great year at McNeese. Because guess what? Programs want to win, Billy.
They want to win.
They want to win. And as long as we keep score, they're going to keep overlooking. How about my man Golden? Okay, we made enough
Todd
jokes
Golden's a great
about
one.
Todd
Yes.
Golden. And guess I'm shocked to know Florida's internal investigation found nothing. Maybe because they're a Final Four candidate this year. That's just the way it goes, Billy. And fan bases and alumni and administrations and most fans in reality are willing to look a different way if their team's winning.
I mean, you and I have an affinity for Buzz Williams. Now,
Yes.
I don't know exactly if anything from the NCAA has come down, but there's obviously a lot of different reasons why Buzz has bounced around at different spots.
And he had a rocky roads. And
Rocky
things like
roads
that.
and
Yeah.
certain spots like there. But, like, you see coaches, John Calipari.
Great example.
People accused him of cheating for however long. They throw a generational bag of money at him. Like, these institutions at some particular point in time, it comes down to the cash. Now, let me calm you down real quick with the Shaka Smart deal. It doesn't seem like you're as nervous as you were last year.
No,
Day
not
one
as
of the
nervous.
NCAA tournament, we're at Potawatomi. A certain former 7-footer from the Appleton area sends you a text message saying, hey, there's some smoke. Shaka's going to Michigan.
He just, what was it? Legs. I don't hear about legs anymore. All right.
Shaka Michigan's got legs. Watch out.
Of course, if Butch says something, I'm going to get a little
You're
more
going to get
nervous.
dialed in. And you were petrified all day long.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably not what you want to hear. I don't think Shaka Smart has done enough recently to be in that conversation.
Yeah, I get that. I do. I mean, I think he'd be a good candidate for anybody. I think he's a great college head coach.
But
I don't know if for Indiana he's that guy.
Now, the reason why for Indiana, let me just finish here. The reason why is how many different transfers they bring in with 7-figure deals.
Right.
That's not Shaka Smart. No, That's not what he wants to be. I think most teams are going to look at it and, right, wrong, or indifferent, give him a little bit of a Dabo Sweeney thought where,
yes, you're right.
Maybe this is past his time. Like, if you're not going to get involved, you're not going to be talking to agents, you're not going to be playing some of the dirty games that a lot of college coaches are having to get into.
We want a guy that's going to be willing and ready and good at spending NIL money in the portal.
And push the rules a little bit. Now, a lot of these guys, what they had done and what they were accused of and found guilty of in the NCAA's eyes, legal now. Not what Rick Pitino was
Yeah,
doing. Not what Rick Pitino was doing.
That's a different deal.
But he served his 5 years and now he's back in. So like, as much as you do want to find somebody that's going to continue to develop young men, be able to look at these parents in the eye and say, we are what's best for your young man. We are what's best for your child. What they really want is for somebody to be able to walk into those conversations, have a conversation with an agent, say 2.1, let's get that point guard over here.
And let's get a dub.
We got $700,000. We need a 6-man.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go down to Wofford and grab the Terriers' best shooter. Come on over here. That's kind of what they're looking for.
Sure.
And that's not Shaka Smart. So
you know what?
You're okay.
And maybe that's
with this one.
And maybe that's the one thing that'll finally put the worrying fan base to rest, that we're constantly in this state of dad's going to leave us, dad's going to leave us, dad's going to leave us.
Well, and you know what? Maybe West Virginia fans have that thought that their dad is going to leave them. The coach that brings them to the doorstep of the NCAA tournament, now he might be out for the Indiana job. Just wait till we hear from the West Virginia governor coming up in the third hour of the program. Third hour of the program, you're going to hear somebody that just cannot handle it. Now, the governor of West Virginia also was listening to John Rothstein. I'm just going to put that out there. He was also listening to Pardon My Take, it sounds like. And we'll get into that after a parlay of the day with the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the other side. Doug Russell has an update. We're back right after this. Hour 3, best one yet, comes up right after this on The Game.
Holy cow, what a finish! Are you ready? We are the home of the madness of March. 97.3 The Game.
Grab the contest rules for 97.3 The Game at thegamemke.com.
People can't stop screaming about Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza. And no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's frozen aisle and find out for yourself why Sport called Screamin' Sicilian Holy Pepperoni Frozen Pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian. Taste what all this screaming is about.
Are you buying or selling? Greg Urchel here from Urchel Real Estate Group, partner of the Drew and KB Show. I've been in the real estate business for over 20 years. I'm a practicing lawyer, so I've seen almost everything there is to see when buying or selling commercial or residential real estate. I've built a trusted team around me to provide our clients with the highest level of service available in this market. We are much more than just a traditional agent. We are Urchel Real Estate Group. Buying or selling? Go to urchelrealestate.com or email me, greg@urchel.com. ERCHULL.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Bud Light was brewed to be delicious and easy to drink, like overtime in the game. But that just means more time to enjoy a fresh Bud Light. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Find Bud Light at your local bar or restaurant today. Want a VIP experience at the NFL Draft in Green Bay? From March 10th through April 4th, visit Champs Brookfield, Maxwell's in Cedarburg, the Brat Stop Kenosha, and Mr. Brews Menominee Falls. Find the NFL Draft sweepstakes poster and scan the QR code to enter.
Must be 21 plus to enter. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's like being trapped in a cage. And I know that sounds dramatic, but your breathing triangle problem has got you trapped. And once you're freed, you're going to be able to live the life that you're missing out on. Now, this can simply mean experiencing the true pleasure of breathing freely. It will mean better sleep and more energy. And the worry of this problem any more affecting your life is going to be gone. Because in almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it's a one and done. Because we're not in the business of delivering Band-Aids. We want to fix your nasal breathing problem for good. We don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
Isn't it time you break free from that cage? Take the next step. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Pro Savings Days are back at Lowe's with exclusive member-only deals.
Right now, save $30 on a Little Giant Extra Light Plus 5-foot aluminum stepladder. Was $109, now just $79. Plus, save an additional $20 on the Metabo HPT pneumatic finish nailer. Don't miss out on these limited time deals. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid 3/17 through 3/19. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part, they accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
We're back in the miller's yard, who now use True Green.
Their lawn started looking like a golf course, and PGA Tour golfers made it their favorite stop.
Get a PGA Tour quality lawn for as little as $1 a day at TrueGreen.com. Exclusions apply. See TrueGreen.com for details.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Broadcasting live from the Iron Jock Studios. This is WRNW-FM Milwaukee. 97.3 The Game. There is no BS with Screamin' Sicilian Premium Craft Frozen Pizza. Find it in your local grocer's freezer and taste what all the screaming is about. Drop it.
He's very knowledgeable, very intelligent guy, very personable guy.
Here's Doug Russell.
All right, let's start on the hardwood, where the NCAA selection committee did Wisconsin no favors by skipping what they had hoped would be a short trip to Milwaukee in favor of a flight to the high altitude of Denver. The voice of the Badgers, Matt LePay, was a guest of the Mike Heller Show yesterday, and he talked about not getting to Fiserv. Yeah, that was one thing, but then the schedule came out.
You know, I'm not going to lie. I left the building scratching my head thinking, whoa, they're Thursday, huh? And then we're on the plane. We haven't taken off yet. And first up, like, oh, okay.
Right.
But you know what? The bottom line is nobody cares.
Yep.
You got to go play. You got to do everything you can to get ready. Go play and see if you can advance.
That's the thing. Nobody cares. Just do your work. Nobody cares. Turn the page and let's go.
It should be rather simple in that standpoint, right? Like it should. Now you put it to bed. Armin and I did talk about it, though. It's like a football coach will always say we got the 24-hour rule.
Yeah.
You got the 24 hours. You could gripe about it yesterday.
Sure.
They had an off day, I would assume, yesterday. Probably
yeah.
Mandated off day with 4 days on the road.
Right.
Get your classes in order.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out what we got to bring.
Pack.
Maybe go and see your friends.
Think about your friends.
Go say hi to your girlfriend.
Say hi to your girlfriend. And get ready to go kiss her on the cheek and come back in on Sunday with a Sweet 16 t-shirt.
Right.
Yeah.
At some point you get out of town, go win, come back, feel better.
And to their credit, I mean, you know, Guard hasn't said anything, but we're ready to go play, and players have it. It's more fans than us that are coming.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we do.
And the people that bought the tickets that are sitting there saying, son of a...
But that's also on you for buying the tickets. Like betting the over. You can bet the under. It's on you. I didn't tell you to buy it. You chose to bet it early.
Tip-off is at 12:30 on Thursday. Over to Marquette. The Golden Eagles, they're headed to Cleveland for Friday night's first-round game against New Mexico. Now, one thing that Marquette has in this tournament is experience.
When you get to the NCAA tournament, it does feel different. You know, there's a lot of different things around it. And so I think being able to normalize that feeling and understand that we've been here before is a powerful thing. At the end of the day, though, it still comes down to trying to be the best version of yourselves as a team and individually out there on the court.
Yeah, Shaka knows what's up. He's been to a Final Four as a head coach, Sweet 16 last year. They won their first tournament game under Shaka in 22-23, and that was the first tournament game that they had won since
10
Buzz
years.
Williams was
Yeah.
coach. So all of these things are incremental steps for Marquette. So we'll see what happens this weekend.
I mean, so far it's been this way while he's been here at tournaments Cam Jones time. I'm hoping that continues to be the case again. They're going to have a good. Hey, we're talking so much about altitude. New Mexico's got to go all the way east to Cleveland. Maybe
There you
that'll
go.
help Marquette. We'll see.
Should Shaka go bald again?
That's a great question, and I've asked the same about Buzz Williams.
I will always advocate for that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but does it make you mad that guys that don't have to go bald intentionally go bald?
Well,
You're not that guy.
Welcome.
If
You are my people.
The also thing is, Doug has very lucky in this standpoint.
Tell me about
Doug's got a good and well-shaped noggin to be bald.
Beautiful head.
There are
Thank
people
you.
that
I
don't
appreciate
have
you.
pause. There are people that don't have good heads for a shaved head. There are people that go bald. Shaka Smart, nice
Yeah.
bald head.
Yeah, very
He-
handsome bald
He
head.
did look good in the bald head. I would suggest maybe we do that for the tournament and see if we can
Maybe.
recapture some of that VCU
Because
magic.
that was his thing. It was the bald head. It was.
He also was a suit
Yeah,
guy.
he was also wearing. I was going to say he wore a suit. I just saw a picture of him in VCU, and I'm like, oh, I forgot he used to wear a suit.
Yeah.
Actually, he was a shirt and tie guy. He rarely wore the jacket, if I remember, while coaching. Am I wrong in saying that?
He was a
always-
shirt and
he
tie
wore a
guy,
Shirt
yes.
and tie. His
Walk
thing
out
was,
in the suit.
Yeah, you walk out in the suit, you take
Right.
the jacket off, and then you don't
Like
see it
me
again
at a
until
wedding.
after the
But
game.
Right.
exactly.
You get to the wedding, you get to the table, jacket comes on.
right. It's hard to find a picture of him actually coaching with the jacket on. Now, shirt and tie, but he was a shirt and tie guy, and dress shoes, which he must have hated because he loves wearing those sneakers, the Jordan 9s.
Yeah, he does look good.
I
in
think you should
sneakers.
keep the sneakers, but go back to the
Back
shirt
to
and tie.
bald
Yeah.
and back to bald. And I'm kind of cool with that because he was good with that. If you thought it looked good back then, bald and goatee, do it again. Buzz is growing hair now too. Like, what's the deal?
That's not right.
Yeah.
That
All
buzz
right.
looks bad.
Let's get into this. West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrissey and his Attorney General J.B. McCuskey are now investigating the NCAA because their team got snubbed.
Got hosed.
And I get it. You got snubbed. North Carolina got in. Their AD, Bubba Cunningham, which is a great name for an athlete.
Fantastic name. Definitely brings some eyeballs when your name's Bubba, however.
Chairman of the selection committee, UNC gets in. Yeah, he had to recuse himself. He couldn't be in the room, but
I was gone.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
He was sitting on that hotel
Maybe-
chair in the corner.
Maybe these things happen.
Mhm.
So Governor Morrissey at the lectern yesterday asked his attorney general to launch an investigation to, and I should I do this in a West Virginia accent?
Please.
To determine if any backroom deals, corruption, bribes, or nefarious activity took place during the selection process. Listen, I get it,
Yeah.
but West Virginia, I just wanted to look up a couple of numbers for West Virginia, and I don't mean the basketball team, I mean the state. You have the 4th highest poverty rate in the country. You're 48th in education, 48th in overall economy, 48th in healthcare for your residents,
Hey,
and 50th
not
in
50th.
infrastructure.
Okay, now 50.
Is this the hill you should be dying on?
It's a good question, and I know why you're saying that.
We're not dying, brother.
but
We're winning.
that's what I would say.
Get yourself in here, and we want to know.
What I would say,
miscarriage of justice.
when people bring up that and sports and politicians getting into that, and you have bigger problems, I would say this. I bet more people, if you knock on the door in the state of West Virginia, would be more passionate about that than these other political
Then
issues.
is that a problem in and of itself then?
That we love sports
No.
more than public policy? Maybe it's not. Maybe
you're
it's not.
48th in education.
Maybe it's not virtuous, but maybe it's not a problem for most of those people.
Can we hear a
48th in
quick? Can we
healthcare.
hear a quick excerpt from Patrick Morrissey, governor of West Virginia?
Quad 1 wins.
Go off. Go off.
And that was combined with an undefeated record against Quad 3 and Quad 4 opponents.
No one cares about Quad 4.
3 wins against top 10 teams and the 24th toughest schedule in America. West Virginia deserved to be in the NCAA tournament.
Oh
This
my
was
God.
a miscarriage of
Not
justice
done yet.
and robbery at the highest level. Now, who was the last team to get into the tournament?
I won't stand for
Ahead
it.
of the Mountaineers.
He also
That would be the
he's not done
University
yet.
of North Carolina. Now let's see how their resume stacks
Oh,
up.
here we go. Let's see.
The Tar Heels went 1-12 in Quad 1 games, and even had a Quad 3 loss.
Your residents don't know
And
what
we
that
keep
means.
hearing about the importance of these Quad 1 wins, but UNC couldn't even get 6.
Oh, couldn't even get 6 of them.
He went
How's
full
that going, boys?
It's awesome. He's gone full Lenardi bracketologist.
My man also is doing this and presenting this dance at a podium
Yeah.
with a banner right in front of it that says the National Corrupt Athletic
I love it.
Association.
It's hilarious. And the thing is, think about the staffers that had to come up with all this information for him, because he has no idea about quad
Give
one.
me some quad one numbers.
Yeah, I
now.
need the numbers. What's
What
important?
is a quad one?
And somebody make up a fake NCAA. Now, I noticed he didn't bring up the net ranking.
Mr. Governor, the last I checked, we don't have a quad one county. Check again. You'll figure it out.
Governor, we were 15 points below the net and the Ken Palm ranking. Those are important.
Who's
bring
Ken
that up.
Palm?
Get that out of here.
Yeah. Now,
Who is this Ken Palm?
Now, the National Corrupt Athletic Association. Listen, and here's the thing, Doug. Someone's got to be 48th. I mean,
somebody's got to be there. Yes, you're right.
We
yes.
can't all be the best. If we're going to complain, then
not 49.
Then we're
No, he's not. There's at least two states.
Talk to the 50th ranked.
It says zero.
They wish they were West Virginia.
And in West Virginia, they might think there's even more states.
It's a zero-sum
considering
ranking.
that they're 48th in
It's a
education.
zero-sum ranking. I learned that in statistics class, of which I wasn't the top-ranked student in the class, but somebody had to be top and somebody had to be bottom. It is a zero-sum ranking, so all we would do is get mad at Wyoming or somebody else.
If it was just education,
great,
but you're
Wyoming.
48th in economy, you're 48th in healthcare, you've got the fourth highest poverty rate in the country.
He got elected in November, so he said, "You know what? I'm gonna check those off."
He's like, "I'm not responsible for that stuff."
After we get the Mountaineers into the NCAA tournament. Now, really going to be tough. Really going to be tough to get that injunction filed in the next 6 hours?
Yeah,
because they'd have to get to
Sure.
the game here tonight.
It ain't gonna happen.
Probably not going to happen.
Might just fly them out there.
Might help his mandate, though. It might help his support.
Have them on standby.
Yeah.
Like the team waiting in the tunnel that's just warming up. Come on, man. Our game's about to start. No, it's not.
No.
Yeah, we're waiting for a
Go
federal
home.
judge to halt this game and
just
turn it
fantastic.
around.
I mean,
listen,
there is
enjoy
some-
the NIT.
They should. They
there's-
should enjoy the NIT.
And if they have a home
potentially their
game,
coach leaving for Indiana.
well, there's that. But if you have a home game in the NIT, that will help your economy a little bit.
47th.
Maybe they'll jump up from 48th to 47th.
Coming right up.
Maybe.
They win some more games, though. That economy is going to take a boost, especially in the bar market. People like to
Absolutely.
drink in Morgantown, West Virginia.
I bet they're not 48th in that.
Probably
in
fourth.
drinking, right? I mean, I
Probably
bet,
fourth.
okay.
Well,
Is
we're
that bad
we're
to
sitting
say?
in Wisconsin right now, so I don't know that.
Well,
We're
Yeah,
just
they're
going
behind
to
us,
take
baby.
number one.
Yeah, they're behind us, brother.
Now, listen, that would be wild if the injunction, they stop. I mean, as you know, Doug, 72 tournament, Marquette was almost ineligible for one day until Bob Lackey signed that little thing that said, I did not sign with a professional agent, as you know. Maybe you don't know. I don't know, actually. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to make you sound old.
No, that's okay.
calling Doug old.
That actually happened.
Wow.
That did happen before I was born.
Yeah,
believe
I
it or
know.
not.
The weird things
Believe
can
it or
happen.
not.
Wow.
I got news for you. North Carolina's playing tonight. Nothing's going to happen.
Well, of course they are.
Are you
And they're
sure?
probably going to lose.
You don't think Patrick
They're
Morrissey's about to get this
He's
thing?
going to
get this
send his
done?
boys to Dayton. That's
Hey,
not that far.
I'm
To be fair, the NCAA has had a lot of court losses lately.
That's fair.
So-
They've
True.
held a lot of L's.
Yeah,
in the
that
court
you're
of
not
law.
wrong. You're not
Yeah.
wrong.
Their
Might
losing
as well
streak
try.
is
I
pretty
mean,
impressive.
You gotta be a fan of litigation and courts and law to be a college sports fan these days. That's just the way it is, right? It's just that's what it feels like. I mean,
I'm just a fan of Patrick Morrissey.
well, he was awesome. I mean, that when you talk about
You would just wish you could vote for him.
That was a great promo. I,
I mean,
don't know about that. I don't know about that. You know what I would like to do? I'd like to shake his hand.
let's see how many
I'd like to
quad
shake his
one
hand.
wins they've had.
Well, maybe he'll be in Dayton tonight.
Check notes.
If they can
Quad
find-
one
If
victories.
they can find it. I don't know how good they are in geography.
Oh man.
Wow, you're really going hard on the education.
Listen, that 48th in when you're 48th in the education system,
Hey, a rising tide could lift all boats just because they're
we're
48.
probably top 5.
Doesn't mean they're still not at a good level of education relative to what they were. or
Getting
could
me
be.
out of the education system had to have boasted Wisconsin's numbers. I mean, like went from 14th with the test scores that I was putting up to like 9th
Mhm.
instantly.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe
mean,
really.
Reckon that bell curve was Armin getting the
Yeah,
perfect score.
Taking a
and-
WWE
no, I
pile
wasn't
driver to
gonna
that
aim.
bell curve. In the
just ending that bad boy. Oh man, Dougie, I apologize. We just stepped all over all your
No,
other
no.
great information that
I
you had
don't
here
apologize.
tonight.
I thought it was fun. I'm not really apologizing.
Thanks, Armin. I appreciate you.
You got all your
I
stuff
don't.
in.
I Billy, I appreciate the apology, but I do not accept it
Oh,
because it was
right.
all good.
There we go. That's good. You're my man. All right, Dougie, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, sounds good.
That is Doug Russell from the Update Studio here on No BS with Billy and Sarian. Oh man,
He does have a point. I mean, I was surprised when West
Does
Virginia didn't. When they didn't get in, I was really shocked. They weren't even supposed to be in the bubble, to be honest with you. But it does bring more to light how tough it is sometimes to try and determine the splitting hairs of tournament teams when they have these different resumes.
Do you think the coach, who is reportedly now in negotiations with Indiana, said, Governor, you either get us into the NCAA tournament or I'm out of here?
Well, that's funny because I'm sure they're going to get an NIT bid, right? Are they going to accept an NIT bid? That's another kind of topic that pops up every year.
Interesting thing is, the one of the reasons why they cited that they were out was the absence of the coach's son, who has been out for like 3 months. Like he's been out for like 3 months. They've won a bunch of games since it, but they're like, you guys don't have your best player. We're probably going to Florida State you. You're going to have to get out of here.
It's weird though, because then it's like, are you saying if anybody loses a player, they're ineligible?
It is a part of the criteria that the selection committee is supposed to vote on. I know people don't like it. They hated it when Jordan Travis was the reason why Florida State wasn't in the college football playoff. That was the right decision to the letter of the law that the selection committee is going. Like Iowa State, they're going to be missing one of their top players, I'm hearing.
But that didn't affect their seed, though.
They didn't announce that he was going to be out for the NCAA tournament until they got this 3 seed.
You're right, which is a smart move.
If that would have been information that would have been out there prior to, maybe Wisconsin is at Fiserv, because it was Iowa State and Kentucky that had to be reportedly closer on the 3 line. So like that kind of stuff factors in, and I am interested to see how this all plays out. What I do know is our boy Morrissey has no shot of winning. Like he has about as good of a shot at winning that court case and that injunction as I do on this parlay of the day.
Time now for Billy's Parlay of the Day, brought to you by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest.
I mean, no chance. Like none whatsoever.
Well, at least it came in a sort of
2 out of 3 ain't bad, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's
That's what
not,
Meatloaf
but
told us.
unfortunately, you need all of them, and at least it means the Cubs lost.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily, because it could have been over 7.5 runs. Could have been Shohei Ohtani over 1.5 total bases and the Cubs victory. It was not, though, however. It was a fat Cubs L. They are holding that L. We had that part of the parlay of the day, right?
Yeah.
Dodgers money line, minus 155. Felt like cash. Then you grab over 7.5 runs, because thinking after Craig Counsell pulls Shota Imanaga.
That was our glimmer of hope.
After 4 innings, and then quickly a 3-run 5th inning for the LA Dodgers. Yeah. Now we're in business.
Yeah.
Dodgers hang another one there in the 9th inning. Leave 2 men on. Can't get anything else.
No, can't do it.
Across. And the Cubs, just a horrendous effort throughout their first game of Major League Baseball play. They might go 0-162.
The last place Cubs might not win ever again in the franchise's history.
1 run, 3 hits, 2 errors for Craig Counsell's squad as they don't show up, lose us the parlay of the day because they don't put any runs on the board. We miss on the over 7.5 runs, and we sit here with a fat L one more time here on the parlay of the day. But have no fear. Tuesday is here, and potentially the better part of a line is here.
Well,
now, Steve Kerr put out earlier on here today, Steph Curry is he's really tired.
So tired.
He is really tired. And needs some rest. He's exhausted and really needs some rest. So it sounds like they might rest him tonight, as the Bucks off a back-to-back for the Golden State Warriors and Milwaukee Bucks have a late night tip here tonight on TNT, which potentially, or NBA TV, pardon me, could potentially throw a wrench in the plan. However, with it going from TNT to NBA TV, I don't know if the same league participation policy, which remember when they instituted that 2 years ago? They're now trying to threaten somebody that you sat your entire starting lineup. Oklahoma City Thunder sat their entire starting lineup. You know what they did? Won by 15.
Well, they're good.
Clearly wasn't good enough.
They're deep.
I mean, clearly they need to participate harder and potentially get sued. Now the Warriors going to do it on a primetime game. Maybe sit Steph Curry. Well, we're sitting on it, and we're grabbing the Bucks lane 3.
I like that. Let's go.
If Curry's out, this line moves.
Definitely. So hopefully you get the better end of it.
So I believe we're grabbing the better end of it. Bucks -3, late night tip against the Golden State Warriors on a travel out to take on GSW, who just got beat by the Nikola Jokic-less and Jamal Murray-less Denver Nuggets, led by Russell Westbrook last night.
Westbrook
So
went
let me
nuts.
cook. Let's go.
Let's go.
Boston Celtics laid 13.5 earlier on in the day. really feel like that should be the play. Can't be. You want to go with another streak? When you're watching, what the heck? When you're watching the Cleveland Cavaliers, and why is that being tied up as not being able to be parlayed with the Bucks and Cavs? You should absolutely be able to parlay.
Yeah, that's weird.
The Bucks and Cavs. Let me close out of this window. Make sure that there's nothing wrong going on as we're trying to make sure that we get this parlay of the day
could be
of the
user
Bucks
error.
laying 3.5.
Yeah.
No. Oh, there we go. Now Bucks and Cavs. The window was definitely cooked off.
Yeah.
So we have Bucks laying 3. We have Cavs laying 3.
I love that, by the way.
And we have the North Carolina Tar Heels laying 4.5. This San Diego State team, with all the issues surrounding North Carolina, Hubert Davis 8-1 in the month of March in the NCAA tournament against the spread. Lay the 4.5 with the Tar Heels. We go all favorites here tonight. All late tips. The college game is actually the earliest of the tips because we got 2 9:00 tip-offs in the NBA. Bucks lay 3. Cavs lay 3 against the Clippers. And the North Carolina Tar Heels laying 4.5
Sorry,
against
Brian.
San Diego State.
Sorry, Brian Dutcher. I think you're running into a buzzsaw with North Carolina tonight. Actually, I
Flying
do.
Dutchermans.
I think they're going to be, Oosberg, what's up? I think they're going to be fired up tonight to play well. I think they're a talented team. I think North Carolina's a sneaky upset pick. The goal even to win a few games here.
Whoa. Are you saying VCU it and go from the first 4 to the final 4?
It can happen. It has happened. North Carolina has done well in the tournament. They're talented. They might get fired up here. Matchup-wise, it's not too bad as I look at my really bare bones bracket here, Billy, that I
the lamest PDF bracket that I've ever seen in my entire life. Yeah.
Funny because it shows the same teams as every other bracket. They're all the same.
I think they're getting some.
Don't get me wrong. I like what Ole Miss has done too. It won't be easy, but I could see them beating Ole Miss if they win this game.
Well, that was my
Which I
hot
don't
take
want-
yesterday.
I don't want this to happen because I know some people that might have an Ole Miss future on, right?
Yeah, some people on this program have an Ole Miss future for them to go to the final 4.
But also
somebody on this program does. I don't remember who it
the
was.
chance to see them, Kentucky, Illinois, Iowa State, all these teams in Milwaukee.
Oh yeah,
talk about blue bloods. I don't know, man.
It'll be like that blue blood Final 4 that we were able to see a couple of years ago. So okay, just recount one more time. North Carolina laying 4.5.
Yeah.
Cavs laying 3. Bucks laying 3. Odds plus 593 at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet big, bet bold, bet above the rest. Go and check out their 3 different tiers of viewing for the tournament coming up.
Right.
They got the champions level, right? Where you are the pro experience. You're in the book. You got that food and beverage minimum at your table, hanging out. Go and check out paysbig.com/sportsbook to see how many tables are still available for the day and night sessions, both Thursday and Friday, 2 separate sessions listed out there. Also, Annex, awesome spots of view, more tables in there, casual spot, a lot of kiosks for you to play and invest in right there, and some really comfy couches for you
Really
to watch
nice.
the game.
Really
and
nice.
also, if you just want to be casual, you want to walk around, you want to play a little bit, 1838 available. The club that they got rolling up on the top level. They also have Rock and Brews, where we were last year watching games. You can be watching games right there in Rock and Brews, hanging out.
Great spot.
So many spots to be able to watch the tournament. They will have at Potawatomi Sportsbook. So bet above the rest. Go to Potawatomi Casino Hotel, paysbig.com to go get all the information coming up. And drive down to Canal Street and place tonight's parlay of the day. Tar Heels laying 4.5, Cavs -3, and Bucks -3 here today. It's no BS on the game. It's Billy and Sari, and we're back after this. The last place Cubs are a beautiful thing, sure. But are the Packers finding themselves in last place in the division after this free agency? There was another signing that we thought could be going way of the Green Bay Packers. Instead goes way of the Super Bowl champions. More on that right after this. You got the game.
Packers fans, you now can register for free entry to the 2025 NFL Draft by downloading the NFL One Pass app or online at NFL.com/draft access. Packers fans, you now can register for free entry to the 2025 NFL Draft by downloading the NFL One Pass app or online at NFL.com/draft access.
Listeners are always asking me about QC Kinetics treatments. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. If you're wondering if you are a good candidate, let's see how you answer these questions. First, is your quality of life impacted by the chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulder, or other joints? You have trouble sleeping, walking, day in and day out movement? Next, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing things that you love because joint pain is consistently holding you back? Like walking, golfing, jogging. If you answered yes to any of these, I'd bet you're a great candidate. So don't wait. Call QC Kinetics right now and ask for a free consultation. Learn about these latest advancements in regenerative medicine and how they can get you lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Saturday appointments now available. It's 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
I can see the breath inside my house. This is how horror movies start.
First, the cold seeps in. Next thing you know, you're spooning your cat for warmth.
I tried it. He bit me.
Jason, come on, man. You need a new furnace. Don't you know that Capital is giving away the furnace when you get a new AC?
Giving as in free?
Yeah, but call Capital before this turns into the horror version of Frozen. Call Capital today and get a free furnace with a new AC.
Old-fashioned service, you can't go wrong. Call CapitalCares.com.
Miller High Life. Always flavorful, always refreshing, always at the right price. The champagne of beers. Welcome to the High Life. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever. That's 4 lines on unlimited welcome for just $25 a line per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. You'll also get the new iPhone 16 Pro, 4 of them for the entire family when you trade in up to 4 phones from our top brands. That's a new phone for everyone, only on the network you can count on. Verizon. Visit a store today. 20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Does your business need new garage doors? At Geis, we partner with CHI Overhead Doors to install top quality materials engineered by industry leaders to ensure that each of our commercial door installs are long-lasting and hassle-free. Call us to get a quote and schedule your new CHI Overhead Doors commercial installation. 262-784-4250 or online at geisstores.com. Don't think twice. For CHI Overhead Doors for your business.
Brother man, you ever get the Sunday scaries?
Sunday scaries?
Yeah, you stay up half the night on Sunday because you're worried about the upcoming week.
I used to, but not anymore. Not now that I found Happy Place Hemp Delta 8 gummies. I take one about an hour before bedtime and I sleep like a baby. But I'm not the only one. One smart, good-looking listener texted us and said they started taking the gummies for their anxiety. Now they're more relaxed. They get a good night's sleep. No more tossing and turning.
And now listeners can go to happyplacehemp.com, use the promo code DrewKB, and get 25% off their order. Can't beat that with a stick.
Happyplacehemp.com, promo code DrewKB.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's Upgrade Your Sleep sale is happening now. Save up to $600 plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Pro Savings Days are back at Lowe's with limited time savings on the supplies pros need. Get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $100 on every $1,000 you spend on select major appliances. And don't miss your chance to activate and earn 3 times the points on select DeWalt and Klein tools. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid to 3/28. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See associate or Lowe's.com for more details on qualifying items.
97.3 The game.
Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I could really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky?
I just keep seeing this. It's no BS on the game. We're inside the Iron Jock Studios now. Real GM putting it out. Steve Kerr. Steph Curry is really tired. He's tired. Rest here tonight. I do appreciate that they're letting us know that he's tired. Now,
I'm tired.
Thank you, Dave. Now, and that's interesting that you're tired because you're coming right off of vacation, working vacation. Went down to Arizona, was covering some spring training, watching some Brewers baseball. Armin, I think you're tired. Did the baby wake up last night at all?
No, we're good.
No. Oh, okay.
Well,
we're not tired.
Do
We're
I
not
seem
tired.
tired?
No, I just wanted to know because I thought most people show up to work tired.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm still, I was up early yesterday.
I don't know how many people feel 100%?
Yeah, well, I think we're all tired. Then again, Billy, we're not professional athletes.
Oh, that's true.
it's
Yeah,
fair
we
to
don't
say
get
that,
to play those back-to-backs and figure that out.
I mean,
that's really tough.
It does, managing our tiredness is part of it, but physical, mental. However, Billy, you're right. I mean, yeah, I think I'm tired. I think Dave's tired.
Was it just got a bit of jet lag and dealing with some plane things?
Oh, that's just
tired,
so
Billy.
tough.
You had to get up to watch.
I appreciate that you asking. I am a little
Dodgers and
tired.
Cubs, yeah.
I am a little tired. I had to stay up a little late last night trying to download MLB The Show. Watch baseball earlier on this morning.
Right.
Had to get up, take a couple of leaks during the night.
That's part of life.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Had to wake up. The dog had to get up last night. So you know what? Maybe tomorrow I'm just gonna set out.
I think Tim's
Is that cool?
Maybe Tim's gonna put an announcement. Well,
could Tim put out an announcement and say that I'm potentially gonna rest tomorrow?
You do have the right to
we
take
got to
a
get
vacation.
the practice squad going.
We got to get those
$150
$150 a day people in for the practice squad.
I got
news for you. You're not making $150.
I got guys on the text line. They're lined up to do it for $30 a show. They're lined up out there, right? So
that's good. You know what? Because potentially you need a break. You just need a breather. Steve Kerr last night, the full quote after Steph Curry logged 35 minutes. Again, also not against Denver's best players. He's tired. Steph's been carrying us for a month. He's been amazing. He's tired. So we got to get him some rest. Just, you can see it. He doesn't have the energy right now. That's tough. So I feel really, really bad for him.
Would a night off playing really help? Or does he get a full day rest? Like, you just, okay, well, listen, you can use a good night's sleep. Like,
does that mean his wife's going to not have him help out with the kids? Like, hey, dad's resting today.
I don't know. It's a good question. I mean,
He's going to sit with the sleep mask on just all day long, hyperbaric chamber it up all night.
There's a lot to do with getting rest and recovering more than just not playing a game. However, obviously the minutes level does affect some guys positively and negatively. We see some guys do wear down if they play a lot of minutes. But
Curry did say his back started hurting last week.
That's
now
thing.
That's the deal.
A lingering injury.
And let me be completely honest here, and I will talk right out of two sides of my mouth. Say that. You know what? This is one of those times you lie.
Just lie and say that.
How on earth are you going to walk up to a microphone and say my man's tired? Like, he's going to have to take a day off.
Yeah.
He's going to have to take a day off. Like, way too tired right now.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Anthony Richardson tapping out for like 2 plays during the season.
Yes. You know what? I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I was just really tired. I mean, that is inexcusable to be talking about into a microphone.
I will never forget when when they started first to give him the load management days, and he didn't really like that. And it was the neck, and the neck popped up on the.
That's cool. You know what? Throw something on it.
The neck popped up on the injury report. We all freaked out, and I remember Budenholzer hemming and hawing with the media, trying to get more information about this Giannis injury that popped up.
How about just quit asking?
Yeah, our medical staff. He woke up with it, and it just
doesn't look good.
We felt like the way he went in, he has a stiff neck. And then they asked Giannis, and he was angry. Was like, "I'm fine." And then he walked. I will never forget that. Being like, "Oh, this is it." This is where we first started lying about load management here with Giannis. I remember because I was nervous. Anytime a Giannis injury pops up, you get scared.
So do you like this better? Would you prefer that Steve Kerr just goes, hey, man, he's tired, dude. He's going to take a nap. He's probably going to be in and out for a little while, and we'll be all good in the
It's nice to know that, let's for instance, if back pops up, we're nervous. If you're a Dubs fan and Warriors, Curry back, you're like, what? Curry's hurt. Is this going to be a problem?
He has been carrying them for quite some time.
It would be a little. That's true. It's a little peace of mind to know that, he's not actually hurt. He just needs a rest day. I'll be honest with you, I'd probably rather hear that for the peace of mind. However, if you do feel a certain way about guys getting rest days, you don't want to hear that like he's just tired and needs a rest day. I understand why that annoys you, Billy.
Kerr continued. He's exhausted right now. So we've got to absolutely consider him giving him a night, getting him rejuvenated for the sake of him and the remainder of our games. But we'll see. I think he's tired. He's been tired the last few games. And so we got to find a way to get him his juice back.
I'd also say to fans, if you don't like that, what would you rather have, that or the best Steph Curry available for a title run? Because you told me rings matter the most, right?
Very true, right? Like, so again, this is why I'm saying I'm talking right out of both sides of my mouth.
That's okay.
Because I get it. I do understand that nobody cares what Steph Curry does in a game in March, right? Like, the only thing that's going to move him from the 15th greatest player of all time to the 12th greatest player of all time, or whatever it is, wherever your rankings are, is winning more in the playoffs. And that's where they're going to need him to be his healthiest. They're now going to be in the playoffs, it looks like. Like, before they made the Jimmy Butler trade, which, hand raised in air, didn't think was going to affect everybody as much as it did. I did not realize it was going to take the Golden State Warriors to these kind of heights over the last month.
You've been good, yeah.
With Butler showing up and apparently a little gray-haired.
That's interesting too.
A little weird gray tint in the braids there for Jimmy Butler, but they're a 6 seed. They're tied to get out of that play-in tournament. They want to make sure that they're not in the play-in tournament. They're pushing right now, but all that's going to matter is into the playoffs. So I get you getting him a break. I get it's most important for what they're doing. I would just probably lie. Like, that would be one where I probably would hold off on he's just.
Do you think we're past the need to do that in today's NBA culture? Like, everyone just
very much might be. Yeah, you're right. Very much might be.
Now.
Yep.
I'm not saying fans respect it, but I'm saying
even though way less people and teams are doing it.
Yeah.
Now, if anybody is going to have a load management day, though, Steph Curry's earned it.
Equity, of course.
He's got the equity. He's earned it.
Yeah.
Now, the problem that you can have, I think, with load management is when young man 25 is doing a load management day. When Jason Tatum says, you know what, man, I'm really tired. Brother, you're 26. What are we talking about? You should be all good in the neighborhood.
And
Steph Curry's 36 and got grown man problems. He's got a bad back and got to be able to swing that golf club in the offseason.
You know, in a performance job like that, it's also different. Like, technically, you know, if you need an off day, shouldn't you take it on a day you're not playing a game, right? You practice, sorry, AI, or the off season. But I understand it. They have a certain amount of days where they have day games, and that's important to show up for. That's why, Billy, I'd always tell you, you've got vacation days, man. If you got to take one, you can take one. If you're tired, you can take one, man. I got no problem with that.
I like this one from 262. Billy, you comparing you or average American tired to a professional athlete being tired is absolutely wild. You act like he also doesn't have kids, family, media, fans, shoot-arounds, flying to place, games, carrying a team. Insane. I ain't trying to hear just because he makes more money, he can't be tired. That's not what I've said. No, that's actually contrary to it. You make that kind of money, your investment in the team. It's also not him saying it. This is going exactly to a point that I've made a number of different times about load management. People shame players for it. Steph Curry says, I'm fine. I'll be good. You figure it out. I'll be good.
He didn't ask out, right?
Mostly the teams have been doing this for a number of different years.
Yes.
And the players get a bad look and get a bad rap for it.
It's the teams that do it because they want to set up their guys to be best conditioned and healthy.
Tongue in cheek. I struggle to say that when wife's just not going to have him help with the 4 kids.
Right.
We're just going to get a full day off. We're just going to have a full day where we just don't have to do anything.
Wild comparison from you, Billy. Wild
comparison.
How would you compare yourself to a pro athlete? That being said, you could take a day off. And you will at some point, and I will too.
I probably will. Yeah, I probably will.
That's okay.
I probably will. On a game day.
Yeah.
Listen,
even on my days off, I'm still working.
No one's giving me a perfect certificate for perfect attendance this year. This isn't 3rd grade anymore.
Which I'm happy for. Because for a long time, you were trying to win those perfect attendance awards.
Why should I?
Last I heard, do not happen in radio.
Come on, you get to take the day off. Now, Derek from Whitewater, I feel the same way at 5 a.m. every morning, but I have to go anyway. You don't have to. You have to do it if you want to get paid at work, but you don't have to.
That's a good point.
You don't have to.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Steph Curry doesn't have to. That's just the reality of it. It's a different thing.
When your job tells you to not come in, that's the job to get. I like that one for sure. 877-794-1973. Buck's got a job to do. Go in and win whether Steph Curry's on the floor or not on the floor coming up here tonight. For a number of different reasons. Number one is because they're in the parlay of the day.
That's the number one thing.
Let's be honest. They're in the parlay of the day laying 3.
We gotta
so
book
they
one.
better figure it out.
We got to book one. Yeah.
877-794-1973. We are going to book it to Phoenix, Arizona coming up after the top of the hour. Our friend Mike Heller is in with Pat Murphy at the moment. Hopefully going to be joining us a little bit later on into the crossover. We'll be talking and having a good conversation with our friend Nick Brusewitz as well. Mike will have all that backdoor information with Pat Murphy and all the ins and outs of what they're thinking of doing right now. All of the internal discussions that Brewers front office, coaches, players, staff are all having. Mike Heller's going to bring all of them right to you, or not, because some of them might be off the record, but Mike's got them. Mike's got the stories, and he's got a lot more coming from Brewer spring training in about 20 minutes from right now. We got our closing ceremonies. We round third, head for home right after this. It's No BS on the Game.
I'm tired, sick and tired of love. I've had my fill of love from below and above.
Football fans, get ready for an unforgettable NFL draft experience in the Discover Green Bay 2025 Draft Sweepstakes. Find out more about the 2025 draft in Green Bay and enter to win at greenbay.com/sweeps.
Hey, it's Billy Schmidt. Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, they know the secret. The doctor-developed plan is easy to follow and also helps you lose weight fast, naturally, and safely without using drugs or injections with the risk of serious side effects. And there's no prepackaged meal program, no bars and shakes you buy through them. And the best part, no exercising even required. Their program helps you reset your metabolism and keep weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Plus, their program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other weight loss programs you've either tried or heard of. So go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation. Working with Milwaukee Weight Loss, one of the best decisions I ever made over a year ago. And since I'm hitting some pregnancy weight, I'm going to jump right back on. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. That's up to a pound a day. So schedule your free consultation by calling them at 262-433-4008 or visiting them online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Again, 262-433-4008 or MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Celebrate 60 years with Rust Arrow and purchase your next vehicle with them during their 0 to 60 sales event. Whether you need a commuter vehicle, a pickup truck for towing, or a minivan for your family, Rust Arrow is your one-stop shop for any of your vehicle needs. Don't wait. This month only, receive a $60 Quick Trip gas gift card with every purchase. Drive away for only $60 down and get 0% APR financing for 60 months or 0 payments for 60 days.
Plus fees offered to qualified buyers. Restrictions
Yeah,
apply.
that's minus 910 at a double double. Kuzma plus 850. That's worth it. $5.
Bryanton Trent College's Wauwatosa campus now offers 20 intercollegiate athletic programs. Competing at the NJCAA Division II level gives Bryanton Trent College the opportunity to offer scholarships to student athletes. Learn more about Bryanton Trent College and Bobcats Athletics at bscbobcats.com.
On Saturday, March 29th, Milwaukee is where the best wrestle as All Elite Wrestling presents Collision.
AEW makes pro wrestling more fun.
It will be a Saturday night fight to remember in the final week before AEW Dynasty. Be there live as the greatest professional wrestlers in the world deliver an unforgettable experience. AEW Collision, live from UW Milwaukee Panther Arena, Saturday, March 29th. Tickets on sale now starting at just $20 at AEWTIX.com.
My24 Sports has your courtside seats for the WIAA State Boys Basketball Tournament. 20 elite programs, 3 days, 5 division champions. Join me, Mike McGivern, to preview the semifinals during the Kern Electric Boys Tournament tip-off presented by Cannon and Dumpy Thursday at 12:30. Game action follows live from Madison at 1:30. Watch the WIAA Championship Series on My24 or stream at My24Milwaukee.com. My place for champions, My24.
You know what really gets me? A man who knows how to stay fresh. No matter how hard he works, how much he sweats, he's always clean, always irresistible. That's why I love a man in Iron Jaw. Their gear doesn't just fit, it hugs all the right places. And the best part? No odor. Ever. So guys, if you want to leave a lasting impression without the lasting odor, slip into Iron Jaw. Trust me, we'll notice. Shop again, and again at IronJOC.com. Progressive.com.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
Participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
The Fox 6 weather experts are presented by AdventKnows.com.
We start our Tuesday with some sunshine, but end cloudy with a high near 56. Should see a breeze develop off the lake to cool things down in the later afternoon. Overnight tonight, we'll stay in the low 40s, then some rain changing to snow Wednesday. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Pro Savings Days are back, and get up to 40% off, plus save an additional $100 on every $1,000 you spend on select major appliances. Valid through 3/28. Selection varies by location, while supplies last. See Associate or Lowe's.com for details on qualifying items.
Blackwell inside, and he sends it down with the right hand.
The Badgers head west for a first-round matchup Thursday in Denver against Montana. Pre-game with Matt and Butchie at 11:30. Tip-off at 12:30 on your home for the Badgers in the NCAA tournament. 97.3 The Game.
Black dress with the tights underneath. I got the breath of a last cigarette on my teeth, and she's an actress, but she ain't got no need. She's got
No BS inside the Iron Jack Studios. Do you like rewards? I give you Iron Jack's new loyalty rewards program. Every time you buy Iron Jack, you'll earn points, and points can be redeemed for free Iron Jack gear. If you're an existing customer, you'll already find $100 already in your account right now. For new Iron Jack customers, receive 50 points just for signing up. Go to ironjack.com. Start earning rewards today. That's ironjack.com. That's ironjoc.com. Armin, we would be remiss to not mention our YouTube and X comments.
I'm glad you said it. I wanted to do the same.
Got a couple here on the YouTube stream from our guy, John, IU alum, as he lets us know. An IU grad, and I agree. A chunk of their fans are absolutely delusional. I love this show. Brad Stevens would probably have taken that job, but he worries for his family and the idiots in the fan base. Now, I would say this. I'd love Brad Stevens to go take the Indiana job. Get him the hell out of Boston.
Yeah, that'd be great. Sort of like my Kevin O'Connell deal with a lot of great jobs out there.
A lot of great jobs, Brad Stevens. Don't you want to coach again?
You want to coach again? I think, Brad, I think you're itching to be back on that bench, helping the youth back in your hometown, the state you grew up in. I think you're itching to be back on the bench, actually teaching the game to youngsters.
And you know what he also gets to do, Armin? He gets to blend the two things that I think he loves. He talked about this. He likes building teams.
Which we can do now.
And coaching well. You get to do it in NIL. Every single year you get to build a new team. So you're already a great front office guy. We know you can coach your hind parts off. Get on in there and leave the Boston Celtics
and
for somebody else.
And you've already accomplished. You won an NBA championship. Isn't there anything more fulfilling than going back? Come on, the kid from Zionsville, Indiana, that grew up probably listening to John Mellencamp all the time, right?
Wow, sure.
Indiana, the heartland, IU, candy striped pants. You know you want to do it, Brad. Get out of Boston. And for that matter, Kevin O'Connell, you just go and work in ticket sales too.
Yeah, you got all these thoughts about Aaron Rodgers. Do something else.
Forget football. There's more to life than coaching football, Kevin O'Connell. There's more to life.
You know what he would be really good at? Going back to school.
Being a truck driver.
Probably.
Okay, something like that. Like,
I was thinking go back to school. Smart guy.
Those smart guys are truck drivers. What are you talking about?
Oh, there we go, Armin. Look at you defending the blue-collar workers. I'm glad you did.
You know what? Kevin O'Connell should go back to school, I think.
Do you think he should make a decision and tell Aaron Rodgers if they want him or not?
I'm surprised they haven't yet. I thought Kevin O'Connell was like the man in terms of how things work.
It sounds like Kevin O'Connell is the one holding this up. Now, everybody's talking about Aaron Rodgers. Earlier today, Cam Hayward said, you either want to be a Steeler or you don't.
I think this is a long term.
You either want to be a Steeler or you don't. So are you going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler quarterback? Then good. If not, we're going to go get somebody else. And it sounds like Kevin O'Connell's the one hanging this up saying, do I want to go with this 41-year-old who's probably the best player that I'll ever coach?
Yeah.
talent-wise in his prime?
Sure.
Or do I show that I am the guy, that I am the quarterback guru and whisperer, and I take J.J. McCarthy to the playoffs?
Well, everybody's also saying you can make it work. Aaron Rodgers is the coach killer, this killer. Maybe he wants to show he's smart there. Maybe this is a power play. Maybe he's like, you know what, Aaron, you wanted the real jack power. I'm letting you know right now. We're going to make you wait. I'm letting you know right now how the hierarchy works right here in Winter Park. Right? I mean, I think
he's just trying to say, hey man, this is how it's going to play up here.
Well, we know what he wanted to do with the organization during the playoffs. We think we do. We think somebody did. How did that word get out that he wasn't happy with his new contract during the playoff run?
Mm-hmm.
How did the word get out?
Yeah, how did Jake Glazer get that information?
Who leaked that out?
I'm not going to go the way of Robert Saleh.
Yeah, I like that. I'd be fascinated.
To be honest with you, I think that might be what's going on here. Now, it is kind of weird that it's lasted this long with no movement at all, except for the movement that we heard, obviously, that it's up now to the Vikings. It just seems like, it seemed like last week, that this was going to be inevitable. This is what was going to happen to me, that he was going to go play with the Vikings. I wonder if he wants to make Aaron wait to show him right away what the power structure looks like.
Also, I mean, Brett Favre signed on August 18th. It ain't lasting that long, but I think there's some of this where it's let's hold off. Let's wait. We know you're potentially not going to make a decision before we make a decision.
Yeah.
Let's let ourselves think about it, consternate a little bit, and then maybe go and make that decision.
What is J.J. McCarthy thinking right now?
I think J.J. McCarthy should be fine.
Okay, yeah.
I think J.J. McCarthy should be fine either way. Like, all due respect to J.J. McCarthy, if they're going to bring in Aaron Rodgers to play in front of you, there's a lot worse things that could happen.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, what a shot to his ego. What, that a 4-time MVP and a first ballot Hall of Famer is going to start over him? They're not bringing in Jameis Winston to start over him.
That's true.
Like, in my estimation, that would be more insulting to me. Me competing with
Jared Stimmer,
or 41-year-old Joe Flacco. Like, that is not the case. Daniel Jones, you would have been legit probably competing against.
Cousins.
Coming in knowing that you're going to play behind Aaron Rodgers and learn from, I don't think that's a huge blast to the ego like many people are making it.
I tend to agree, Billy. But you know how young quarterbacks are. They want to get their shot. They want to know that the organization is committed to them, that believes in them, that they're empowering them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Interesting. I would love it to not work out for the Vikings, though.
I would love for
whatever happens, whatever course of action they take, I would love it to work as absolutely bad as possible. I would like all your players to underperform. I'd like J.J. McCarthy to get upset. I'd like the coaching
Justin Jefferson to hate Aaron Rodgers by like week 4.
I'd like the state of Minnesota or the city or whoever decided to build a new stadium to go back on their thing and say, you know what, we don't want to pay this anymore. Let's just bulldoze U.S. Bank and the franchise.
Okay,
I would like
sure,
but that's not realistic.
Start over.
That's not
you know what is realistic? Us giving a congratulations to Cam Jones and John Tonje, as they were just announced by the AP as second-team All-Americans for this year in their performances in college basketball. Cam Jones and John Tonje, both second-team AP All-Americans. The first team, Johnny Broom, Cooper Flagg, Mark Spears, Braden Smith, and Walter Clayton Jr. of Florida.
Nice. Congrats to both. I think both very well deserving. I know Seth Davis thought that he had a remarkable and precipitous decline, but I still say Cam Jones had a good year. Really good year, obviously. Just because he's not National Player of the Year like some people thought he could be at the beginning of the year doesn't mean he was bad. And we know what John Tonje has done. An absolute fantastic year for him. It's been a revelation for the Badgers and an example of what's great about how the NIL could work.
Amen.
You know, he's a good
You hear too many bad examples, and you hear way too many horror stories of guys getting an opportunity or waiting in the portal, not getting the opportunities that they want. He got the opportunity he wanted to go play Mizzou, then got hurt, looked for another opportunity, and that man mastered that, took that opportunity and ran with it to the nth degree. Congratulations to John Tonje and Cam Jones. And congratulations to all of you. You made it. 3 hours of an OBS experience, and you made it.
Except for Matt Rusty, who just announced he's leaving. But yes, thank you. Other than that, everyone else has made it. Oh, yeah. You just said he's okay. Thanks for announcing.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. You didn't make it to the end. Everybody else made it to the
You
end.
almost made it to the end. However, now you just get to start that clock all over again. We started the Mike Heller Show on the other side. Nick Bruce is going to join the fray. Dave Gasper is here. You're going to be here. I'm going to be here. Mike Heller is going to join after he's done talking to Pat Murphy down at American Family Fields of Phoenix. We're going to talk some baseball. Our guy Dave Gasper had some issues. He had some frustrations, and we're going to talk about that as well throughout the crossover. We'll ask and add Nick Brusewitz to the fray, and appreciate Trey Crosby, Doug Russell for being a part of No BS. Most importantly, appreciate all of you hanging out with us here today on No BS. And I appreciate you, Armin. Great work
Thanks,
today.
buddy. You too,
Dave Gasper, appreciate you. Great work today. I'm going to try to pick up tomorrow. We're going to try to be better on a beautiful, wide open Wednesday right here on No BS on the Game.